All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushua, Bahashim, Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that taught us this truth and that rule well. And citation and much love for you, Akim, pushing this truth and sincerity over the four corners of the earth and enduring afflictions to feed and edify the elect. We are here again, once again, with another week here in the belly of the beast. What you know of is America, but the scripture called Babylon the Great. All right, we out here prophesying the downfall of this here wicked-ass kingdom. All right, let you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans know you're the children of Israel. All right, you know, we had a pretty much a star-studded week when it comes to prophecy. All right, a lot of different things going on from this time last week till today, man. All right, you know, and there's a couple of things I kind of want to speak on, Lord. We'll get to all those topics, but you know, in some of those topics, you know, you had the the Senate hearing, all right, on the quote-unquote UAPs or UFOs, all right, the chariots of the Lord, what the scriptures call the chariots of the Lord. All right, you also had you know, you had that what was it, the supermarket shooting. All right, you had a couple different mass shootings that took place over the weekend. All right, and you know, just a little something I wanted to speak on that, you know, a little bit further off into the lesson. Lord, we'll get to it, but nevertheless, hey man, you know, just goes to show how far Jake is, you know, and you know, just how far gone they are, man. All right, and the Lord's got to continue to take out a lot of you old ass, wicked ass people, man. All right, to you know, show a lesson to you people, man, to get you to repent. All right, but nevertheless, you know, you also have other things as far as still going through an economic downturn, financial collapses, and things like that. I know we speak on this a whole lot, but guess what? That's bringing us into what you call the what we call the MOTB, or the mark of the beast, man. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and just start out in the scriptures, and we'll get to that. I want to bring out a article on these things just to show forth how close we are to these things, man. All right, because again, as you know, from this time last week, you know, I remember last week talking about, you know, gas was right at $5 a gallon. You know, again, gas is a little over $5. Gas damn near $5.20 right about now, man. All right, the food in the grocery store is still going up. All right, you have a what they call a baby food shortage. All right, not just that, you have shortages of other foods as well too, man. Systematically taking this here place out, man. All right, you know, you got extreme temperatures. All right, the warnings of the power grids going out and everything else like this. This is orchestrated, man. All right, these are the times that we've been preaching and telling you people that was coming upon the earth. All right, but everybody laughed and they scoffed at us. All right, you know, matter of fact, I'll open up with that. But people laughed and they scoffed at us about all these different things, but now they come into pass, and guess what? They all silent, man. All right, this is 2 Peter chapter 3, verse let me just start at verse 3. All right, it says, knowing this first, that there shall come in the last days scoffers, talking after their own, or Salat. Knowing this first, that there shall come in the last days scoffers, walking after their own lust. All right, you know, and these are these people that are, you know, that'll say basically all these different things. Oh, you don't know what you're talking about. Oh, you're just a doomsday, what they call doomsday prophet. You're always talking about doom and gloom. All right, you're always speaking about negativity and things like this. You know, I had a conversation with somebody just the other day about this type of scenario, man. All right, I was like, look, man, you know, there was a point in time where people used to talk about, you know, always say that, oh, you guys are always talking about this negativity and things like this. I'm like, look, man, whether you want to believe what we're saying or you don't want to believe what we're saying, man, hey, man, you gonna understand when your ass goes to that gas pump, man. You gonna understand when your ass is in that grocery store line and you cashing out, man. You gonna understand when, you know, when all these different woes start hitting you, man. And we're at a point now where you don't have to have a prophet telling you these things, because guess what? You feeling the flame, man. All right, it's just like us telling you, hey, man, you know, the building is on fire, you should evacuate. And they say, I don't see no smoke, I don't see no flame. Well, the fire ain't right here where we at, man. The fire is down there, but it's coming this way. All right, and I don't want to believe. But then now you're at a certain point where the whole room is on fire, your clothes is on fire, you're starting to smell your skin burn. You don't need nobody to tell you that the place is on fire at that point in time, man, because why? You can see it, you can feel it, you can sense it, man. All right, and this is the point where we're at right about now, where all these things are speaking loud and clear, man. All right, you know, now you have a point in time where, you know, beforehand we would tell people about these things that was coming to pass. All right, and they had the chance to believe or not to believe. All right, now we're in a point in time where the prophecies are all speaking for themselves. And now you have people coming up and asking us questions. What's going on with this? What's going on with that? And hey, did you see this here video, man? You know, I've had a very spiritual week as far as people that, you know, that I've known for, you know, a very long time and known that I've been in this here truth, or they've known, put it this way, they've known me since before this truth and all the way through this truth. You know, people who've separated themselves from me and things like that because they thought that I was crazy, thought that I was just doom and gloom, thought that I was wasting my life with a lot of different things, you know, all throughout the week hitting me up with different things and sending me different videos and different topics of a lot of different things which pertain to the scriptures, man. All right, pertaining to the MOTB, pertaining to the chariots, all right, pertaining to all these different things going on, man. And you know, it wasn't really accompanied by any kind of so-called text message or what is this going on about? What is this going on? No, I mean, I understood exactly what the hell they was trying to tell me when they sent me the things, because, you know, like the scripture say, make it plain upon tables that he may run that readeth it. All right, they can clearly see what the hell is going on. I'm like, damn. You know, it's basically what they were saying, you know, reading between the lines, like, you told me about this, and this is exactly now this is playing out. You know, the topic of the thing, you know, let's just say, for instance, the MOTB. They didn't say, oh, this here topic was the MOTB. No, it's just a goddamn news, a video of a news clip talking about the implants and things like that, man. All right, and another one with the chariots and things like that. Like, damn, they having a Senate meeting on this. Obviously, this shit is real. You know, they didn't, you know, the pride in them didn't want to say, oh, I apologize because I called you crazy for these things. I separated myself. No, it's just more like, just look at it. You know what I'm saying? You know what? You was right. You know, but hey, you know, it's not about being right or wrong. We not sitting over here trying to be like, oh, I told y'all it was right. No, man. It's more or less, because this is for us to get the blood off our hand. All we got to do is warn you about these things, man. It's for you to repent and turn from your wicked ways so that you may be able to receive salvation, man. All right, that's what we out here telling you these things for. All right, but let's get back to this in 2 Peter chapter 3. All right, verse 3, it says, knowing this first, that there shall come in the last days scoffers, walking after their own lust and saying, where's Slakia? It says, let me read that again. It says, and knowing this first, that there shall come in the last days scoffers, walking after their own lust, and saying, where is the promise of his coming? For since the fathers fell asleep, all things continue as they were from the beginning of creation. And, you know, I happened to be talking with the same person about, you know, the MOTB situation. And, you know, I was like, yo, now you remember when I was telling you these things back in the day and you were saying, oh, no, not in my lifetime, this, and that. And now you're seeing these things come to pass, all right? And I was like, you know, talking about, you know, how the financial things was going on. I'm like, look, there's going to be people that, you know, older people, you know, we was talking about the younger folks, because I was in the store the other day and I seen, you know, the generation that's younger than me, you know, and how they're just so used to doing certain things, and it flipped me out of how, you know, they're using things like Apple Pay, Google Pay. They go up to the register and they just tap their phone, you know, and I'm like, and they don't even realize they being predictively programmed for this shit. But they the young folks, you know, they not really growing up with you know, like how I grew up. You know, we grew up going to church 8 damn days a week, growing up with our grandmama and shit like that, man. So we was always around, you know, biblical talk. Howbeit, you know, they wasn't telling us the truth about it, but we knew about certain things. You know, you've heard the term of the mark of the beast and things like that, you know, in any kind of Christian church that you grow up in, whether they break it down to you correctly or they don't, but nevertheless, you've heard about these things and everything else like that. But hey, going on into these into, you know, this new generation of people, you know, like I said, I seen some of this, you know, younger folks, younger than me, that's in the store tapping with their little phone and things, and like, damn, they don't even realize it's gonna be them in the future with their hand. You know, they be getting predictive program. You know, I was talking to this other person and they were saying, like, look, some of these older folks, they're not even gonna believe, because of the fact of, you know, they can see all the signs in their face, but that cognitive dissonance, oh no, that can't be that, because it ain't gonna come in my lifetime. They have it in their minds that these things aren't gonna come in their lifetimes, man. All right, so they'll sit there, even though that they know what this is, they could have the perfect breakdown of what these things are, but because they have what they call cognitive dissonance, they don't want to understand, they don't want to believe that this is what's going on. But like, yo, man, you know, it's like, hey, you know, if you don't understand cognitive dissonance, it's just like this, man. Hey, you go do some dumb shit, right? You see this happen all the time. People start running from the police, and there's a whole lot of cars behind them, and they still think in their mind they're going to get away. Like, bro, you're not getting away from that shit, but they still keep running. Why? Because they believe in their mind, they simple-ass mind, that they're going to be able to get away from these things, but it's not going to work out for them, man. All right, you ain't never seen nobody run from the damn police, and it's a whole, like an O.J. Simpson chase type thing, and they actually get away from it, man. But, hey, that's cognitive dissonance, man. If they were smart in their mind, they would just go ahead and give up, but they just racking up more and more and more charges, making it worse on themselves, man. So, same thing in this here scenario, man. Cognitive dissonance, man. They see that the MOTB is coming to pass, but yet, nah, that can't happen in my lifetime. It can't happen to this. And then all of a sudden, they wind up taking it, and then guess what? They missile food now, man. All right, but, hey, you know, this is what this is, society is coming to, all right? So let's read again, Peter chapter 3, verse 3. It says, knowing this first, that there shall come in the last days scoffers, walking after their own lust, and saying, where is the promise of his coming? For since the fathers fell asleep, all things continue as they were from the beginning of the creation. So they say, hey, man, everything going to continue on and keep going on and on. That's been going on since I was a child, since my child or my grandma was a child, and so on and so forth, man. But they don't believe, they don't realize that this is the generation that the Bible spoke about where the Lord was going to make his return at, man. They don't understand that this is the time when all these prophecies will start speaking, man. They don't understand that, you know, because they don't measure the times diligently, man. All right, you know, I made a statement about this the other day in one of my videos going into Matthew 24, when they speak about, you know, they always love to quote, no man know the day or the hour, All right, they love quoting that, and that's their so-called cloak for their wickedness. No man know the day or the hour. That means we ain't gonna never know. Ain't nobody gonna know. Cognitive dissonance, man. Saying that nobody gonna ever know about that, because that's the one thing that they remember. No man knows the day or the hour, but they don't realize that they're saying no man knows the day or the hour. And I always give the example of, hey man, you don't know the day or the hour that a baby gonna be born, man. Yeah, you can go to the doctor and they can tell you roughly when the baby gonna be born. All right, but I always get the example, like, you never know how long that labor is gonna be. You don't know if that baby gonna be a preemie baby, man. Yeah, we know that baby's coming 9 months from conception, but what happens if that baby was born, ahead of time, man, as a preemie baby, man? What if that woman goes into labor? Some women go into labor, they may be in labor for an hour, 2 hours. Some women go into labor for 24 hours, man. So you can't tell the exact day and the exact hour that baby gonna come out of, like, right on the birth certificate, the baby was born at 6:25 a.m. You can't predict that from off rip, man. So the same way, but we can also tell you though, but based off the signs, all right, you know what? Women are typically pregnant for 9 months, so the baby gonna be born around this here time. So the same thing when we read in the book of Matthew chapter 24, all right, the disciples asked the Lord about the signs of his coming, all right, and the things that they should be looking for, and what the Lord told them about all these different things. So when you read in Matthew chapter 24, where you find that same saying, no man know the day or the hour, all right, he gives you a list of signs to look forward to, man. All right, about the wars, the rumors of wars, the famines, the pestilence, and all these different things. And these are the things that we see going on around us right about now, man. These are the same things that we're living at right now, man. Everybody's walking around with frowns on their face. Why? Because the price of food is going up in the grocery stores. All right, it's a scarcity of certain items. All right, gas prices going up, going into famines. All right, you hear about the war in Russia and Ukraine, wars and rumors of wars. You hear about Taiwan and China, which America's back on one side, or North Korea. You got a Sleepy Joe going over to goddamn South Korea, talking about, look, we got to have a contingency plan if they want to try testing a nuke over there, man. All right, so you hearing about all these different things, and this is the time, that the Lord spoke about, man. So, hey, man, this is a high time for us to wake out of our sleep, because salvation is nigh. It's nigh at hand. It's right there at the door, man. We see all these things starting to come to pass, man, and what? We have to recognize these signs, man. We have to wake up, man. We have to be sober, be vigilant, man. All right, but yet 2/3 of our people they're gonna remain asleep. They're gonna remain blinded. They're gonna remain in what we, I was just calling cognitive dissonance, man. You see the police behind you. You see the helicopter up above you. You hear it on the radio. Oh, we got a high-speed chase going down, so on and so forth. It's all on the radio. It's all on the news. And your stupid ass still think you gonna get away. Everybody and their mama over here watching this shit like, nigga, where you gonna go? And you running out of gas, so it's not like you really gonna get away. But cognitive dissonance, I'm gonna just keep running because I believe I can get away. Man, nigga, you ain't going nowhere, man. All right, your ass is just making it worse on yourself, man. But hey, this is our people, man. They're stiff-necked people, man. All right. But I wanted to continue on. Let me read this, because going right into what I was just speaking about. Hey, this leads right into this. So let me grab this real quick and boom. Let me read this. But let me read this one more time, because this is gonna link right up with it. 2 Peter chapter 3, verse 3 again. It says. Knowing this first, that there shall come in the last days scoffers, walking after their own lusts, and saying, where's the promise of his coming? For since the fathers fell asleep, all things continue as they were from the beginning of creation. All right, and that's what themes so-called seen, man. All right, because judgment isn't executed speedily. All right, people think that, hey, man, things are just going to keep going on the way that they are, man. People think that things are just continuously going on, unabated and things like that. But again, we're not living in a time where, we have to tell you about these things. You have to look high and low for these things, man. All right, we don't have to tell you that there's an economic collapse and you have to be like, where? I don't see no economic. Hey, we straight over here. Everything fine over here and blah, 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 blah. Hey, man, just go to the gas station and see how much gas is, man. Go grocery shopping and see how much you're spending on groceries, man. Go look at how much rent is in your local areas and things like that, man. All right, see how many jobs is actually hiring with a livable wage around where you are. And then you'll be able to see about all these different things, man. All right, turn on the news and you can see, matter of fact, I got an article I want to bring out about this, whether or not people are seeing these things. You got your man Elon Musk in the news and everything else like that. But hey, don't forget this, the man is creating what they call Neuralink, man. All right, putting that thing into your forehead, man. All right, into your, in the scripture they call it a meta. All right, but hey, continuing on into this era, the times that we living in, hey, man, people don't understand. Because why? They don't have the eye salve, man. They're not able to, matter of fact, let me just read this real quick, all right? They're not able to measure. This is 2 Ezra chapter 9 and verse 1. It says, he answered me then and said, measure the time diligently in itself. And matter of fact, let me come back to that. All right, this is Matthew 24:3. It says, and as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, tell us, when shall these things be, and what shall be the sign of thy coming and the end of the world? All right, and Yahushua answered, and said unto them, take heed that no man deceive you. Real quick, the question that was asked, hey, what's the sign of thy coming and the end of the world? All right, what are these signs, man? How should we know? Like I was reading or quoting a little earlier, how people say no man knows the day or the hour. Well, this whole chapter is full of nothing but signs, man. That's the so-called summary of this here chapter, man, of all the different signs you should be looking for when the Lord is returning. This is what the Lord said out of his mouth, man. You know, some people say no man know the day or the hour. Hey, of course, you know, Yahushua don't know the day or the hour, but ultimately he gave you the signs of when he will be coming. Just like, you know, hey, if anybody gonna know when that baby gonna be born, it's gonna be the doctor. But the doctor, again, don't know the day or the hour because you have the time of labor. But he could tell you, all right, you actually pregnant. We can run tests on you. The signs show that you're pregnant. All right, and, you know, based off of the signs, the science, and everything else, we know that babies are born in 9 months. All right, so roughly in about 9 months, you know, just estimating this is when you're going to give birth. But the exact day, the exact minute, the exact hour from when that baby, when that woman starts labor and finishes labor and that baby is delivered, we can't tell you the exact moment that baby going to take its first breath. All right, we just can't tell you that, man. All right, because, hey, you know, we can say the baby going to be born on this here certain day, and guess what? The baby born a preemie, man. Or now the baby is, you know, the woman has a prolonged, what they call labor, man. All right. Or they have to induce her into labor. You know, all kind of different things can happen. So these things will wind up changing. All right. But let's continue on Matthew 24:5. It says, for many shall come in my name, saying I am Hamashiach, and shall deceive many. All right. You have plenty of different, you know, in this here point in time, you know, not just saying, you know, well, for one, you have people in the truth claim that they have the truth and everything else like that, but don't quite have it. You have plenty of these different religions and things like that, you know, plenty of these different false Christians and false churches and false things like that, pushing and promoting, you know, certain ideologies. And what do these ideologies all lead to? I always call it, you know, Crowley Christianity. All right, if you know about Aleister Crowley, what did he tell you? Do thou wilt. Do whatever you want to go and do, man. Just like these churches say, come as you are, be however you want to be. You know, the Lord will forgive you for everything. Just live it up, man. Go in these modern day churches, you'll see the most sinful things in these damn churches, man. You'll have somebody from the community up there on the pulpit preaching. You know what I'm saying? And we're not gonna get too far into that, but you know that should be the number one red flag, man. When you got members of the community over here preaching in the pulpit, man. All right. Verse 6, and you shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that you be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. And so, like I was just making mention, you know, you have the Russia-Ukraine situation. All right, you have the China and Taiwan situation, which, you know, America's behind the Taiwan. You know, just like the Russian-Ukraine situation, man. America's behind the Ukraine, all right, trying to fight up against Russia. China and Taiwan, all right, America's behind Taiwan, trying to fight up against China. All right, South Korea and North Korea, you got America behind South Korea trying to fight up against North Korea. All right, which is trying to still encircle China. All right, so what are we hearing about? What wars and rumors of wars taking place all over the globe, man? All right, you know, you still got Israel over there bombing the shit out of Syria. All right, all these different things is going on, and Israel doing drills and simulating bombing Iran. All right, you got all these different things going on around the globe, and yet people think that, hey, things continuing on is like when my fathers were you know, was young, man. Things just going on like nothing is happening, man. People are oblivious to the things that's going on, but yet and still they're not taking heed to the signs. There's plenty of signs that's being shown forth right about now. But guess what? The majority of our people, 2/3 of them, to be exact, are blinded out here, man. 2/3 of our people, the Lord has blinded them, has closed their ears so they can't hear, man. All right, 2/3 of our people out here are how do I say? Matter of fact, let me try to grab this real quick. This is Matthew chapter 13. Let me start up, all right? Matthew chapter 13 and 10, all right? It says, and the disciples came and said unto them, why speakest thou unto them in parables? And he answered and said unto them, because it is given unto you to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven, but unto them it's not given, all right? And just, you know, like I was just reading and quoting about Matthew 24, about no man knowing the time of the seasons, but then you get all these different signs, you know, like they say, learn the parable of the fig tree, all right? You learn, you know how that goes, but you learn the parable of the fig tree, you can tell basically what season we in, right? Look at the signs, you can be able to, you know, look at the things around you, you can tell what times we in, right? But hey, you know, He says, why do you speak to them in parables? Because it's for them to understand these things, right? And we give you a lot of different examples, you know, like let's say, for instance, learning parables. What does that mean? All right, look, I'm going to tell you what it means, you know, based off of this, you know, and these signs come to pass. So look, how you know, you may ask something simple. You compare it to something simple that the everyday mind may understand. You know, like you ask me, well, what does a parable mean? What do these signs mean? How am I supposed to know? All right, so check it out, son. You know, when you over there in the kitchen and you boiling you some eggs, yeah. Well, how you know when the eggs is done? Well, you might see some of them start cracking on their own. They might just start automatically cracking. After, you know, the water gonna boil. Then you just boil them until you start seeing some of them crack. Then you know at least that they already boiled all the way through and through. All right, so what? The signs just telling you that they done is what? You looking at the cracking. So just the same way we can measure the times diligently based off of the signs that the eggs is showing you, you can look around you and see these same things. This is what the Lord is telling us right about now, man. Oh shit, so now I understand what you mean by these different things. All right, and how did I teach you that? By painting a picture until you using a parable of something that you can already relate to. All right, something that you can already tie imagery to, like I, you know, just use the boiling of the eggs, man. So hey, man, this is given to the elect to understand these things. It's not given to the whole world, man. All right. Hey, you can tell them certain things and give them all these examples, but it fly right over their heads, man. All right, hey, we'll keep getting into it, but it's almost like a Jedi mind trick. This is why, you know, the scriptures say not to cast your pearls before swine, man. And the wicked's not gonna understand. It's not for you to go out there and just scream it out to everybody and for everybody to get it, man. This is why you see us on the highways and the byways sometimes, and some of our people walk by like, why ain't you telling them? Why ain't you telling them? Hey, man, it's for open. You know, it's open for you to walk up and ask questions, man. If you get it, you get it. If you don't, you don't. We're not trying to chase you down and trying to force this down your throat, force you to get it, because, hey, this is part of the fishing method, man. The Lord said he was going to send for many fishers, and they're going to fish them, man. All right, and part of fishing, hey, man, you know, it's like you fishing with certain bait to catch certain types of fish, man. All right, and, hey, you know, not all the fish going to come by and bite your bait, man. All right, so, hey, this is the same type of process, man. All right, let's continue on. Matthew 13, jump down to verse 13, it says, therefore do I speak to them in parables, because they see and see not, and hear and hear not, neither do they understand. So like I said, man, we could preach this to you till your face turn blue, man. All right, and you ain't gonna understand these things, man. We can tell you about these things and show you the videos. We can show it to you in the world how these things is coming to pass, but you're not gonna get it, man, because it's not meant for you to get, man. But again, just like I was saying a little earlier about how, you know, somebody sent me a video, all right, and all it was a news clip, and it said nothing about the MOTB in it. It just said, hey, you know, they talking about putting computer chips inside of people you know, this is going to be the new way of making transactions and things like that. And what came to my mind immediately? Revelation 13 and 16, man. All right, he caused all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or on their forehead, that no man might be able to buy or sell, save he that have the mark the mark of the beast, roughly paraphrasing, you know. So, hey, man, we, you know, these things was given unto us to be like, how do I say, so-called signs, you know, and we've been out here preaching unto you to make it plain for him that read it to run with it, man. So as soon as you see it, you pick up and you run with, oh shit, I know this is exactly what they was talking about, man. Like I said, it was been a spiritual week for me, because people have been sending me, you know, different people at that, you know, that I ain't even really talked to, don't really talk to about these types of things, but know what I'm into. Send me just random ass news clip and videos about these things, and it's just like, damn. Yeah, this right up your alley, and it's not in a way of scoffing. Look, man, this that stupid shit you be talking about. Nah, man. It was more like in a sense of, oh, damn, man. I remember you was telling me about these things, and is this what the mark of the beast is? Oh shit, it's actually happening right now. They actually pushing the mark of the beast right now, man. I'm like, damn, now you what? We switch sides now? You preaching to me now? Is that what's going on? But hey, call Allah Yahweh Shimmy shot that you was able to be able to see these things, man. But you know, ultimately, you know, it's you know, our job and our duty to get the blood off our hand, but to warn you and tell you about these things, man. And, you know, and always constantly repeating these things over and over and over again. Some people say, hey, man, why y'all be repeating? Hey, it's part of making it easy for them to run that read it, man, because you drill it down into people's minds so much that when they actually see it, it just clicks into their minds, man. And, you know, just like certain precepts, you know, we read it so many different times, you can pretty much quote it word for word, man, because you done went over it so many different times, man. But, hey, nevertheless, this was only for the elect to get, man. But let's continue on. Matthew 13 and 14, it says, let me go back to 13. Therefore do I speak to them in parables, because they see and see not, and hearing they hear not, neither do they understand. All right? And in them is fulfilled the prophecy of Elias, which saith, by hearing you shall hear, and shall not understand, and seeing you shall see and not perceive. All right? And hey, you still have 2/3 of our people that are in the same state right now that, you know, basically you can show it to them again in their face all day long, and they not gonna understand. They not gonna get it, man. They just like, well, I don't understand. I don't get it. How does this? What is? Just, you know, they'll say, you know, we can break down Babylon the Great and all the characteristics of Babylon the Great and the things that Babylon the Great would be doing and everything else like that. And they just sitting there reading and reading and reading and reading hours and days and months and years on end. And they be like, well, where does it say America in the Bible at? I'm like, nigga, it's not going to say America in the Bible, but it gave you the whole fucking description of what it was going to do or what they was going to be doing in there, man. All right, you know, where does they say, well, I was going to say, where do they say, you know, Caucasians or white man in the Bible? But hey, they actually say, you know, they that dwelleth in the clefts of the rock. When you go back to the origins of Caucasians, where they get that name from? They get that name from the Caucasus Mountains because they was living in the mountains and in the mountains that was called the Caucasus. So they call themselves after those mountains. So, you know, same shit. But yet and still, hey, you show our people these things. Well, they don't say that the verbatim the devil is the white man. Well, they say that Edom was the border of wickedness, man. And when you go back to who these people were, all right, and you know, going back to Esau's name was changed to Edom, red. All right, power was given to him to take peace from the earth, and they was giving him a great sword. He was gonna live by the sword. What nation took peace from the earth with the sword, man? But yet and still, you can tell them this shit all day until they deafen the ears. But yet and still, they not gonna understand, man, because it wasn't given unto them, man. Continuing on, verse 15. For this people's heart is waxed gross, and their ears are dull of hearing, and their eyes have they closed, lest at any time they should see, and see with their eyes, and hear with their ears, and should understand with their heart, and should be converted, and I shall heal them. So, hey, man, this is really a curse from the Lord upon 2/3 of our people. You know, going back to when Yahushua was on the scene. All right, they were seeing, but they act like they ain't seen it. You know, they heard, but they act like they ain't hear. You know, they witness these things, but they believe not. You know, they say, oh, he did this with some type of sorcery and everything else like that, man. All right, they said that, you know, the Lord was doing, matter of fact, where is that? It's right here, matter of fact. Let me read this, because I was just making this example, and it's just one page back. This is Matthew chapter 12. Let me start at verse 22. Then was brought unto him, you know, they talking about, well, we'll just read it and it'll go into it. It says, Matthew 12 and 22. Then was brought unto him, all right, brought unto Yahushua, one possessed with the devil, blind and dumb, and he healed him, insomuch that the blind and the dumb both spake and saw. So this man was blind and dumb, couldn't speak. You know, he was what you would call remedial, more or less, in this here time, man. All right, and it says, let me read it again. And it says, and then was brought unto him one possessed with a devil, blind and dumb, and he healed him, insomuch that the blind and the dumb both spake and saw. And all the people were amazed and said, is this not the son of David? But when the Pharisees heard it, they said, this fellow doth not cast out devils. This devil doth not cast out devils, but by Beelzebub, the prince of devils. Right? So they said, look, they seen the miracle that he did. Like, wait. You know, and then, you know, just on layman's terms, you know, the devil would be in somebody being a wicked, bad person. All right, and the Lord coming in somebody righteous, and he healing somebody. All right, first of all, the person is possessed with demons on him, right? But they saying that the Lord came, all right, who was supposed to be a good guy, but he coming under the guise of a bad guy and taking demons off somebody. Well, first of all, a bad guy wouldn't be taking demons off of you. In fact, a bad guy would be putting demons on you, right? Let's just put it in modern day terms. A bad guy wouldn't be going around on the battlefield trying to save people's lives, man. A bad guy would be out here killing folks, man. They be going around gunning people down and everything. You could denote just off layman terms, well, who's the good guy and who's the bad guy? The bad guy out here shooting off people. Now the good guys come in with the EMS truck and trying to revive people. So you can see, okay, one is trying to help, the other one's trying to harm. But now you saying that the people that's out here that's actually helping, that's reviving people, is actually the bad guy? But see, here we go again, the cognitive dissonance, man. These people were blinded. You can show them all damn day in their face, but they not gonna understand. These are the same people that was back in those days. Same people that when Yahushua was on the cross, they was the one telling them to go to crucify him. Let his blood be on our hands and on our children's hands, man. So now this is why they can't see, man. Because back then they couldn't see, or they had that cognitive distance. They refused to see, man. So, hey, man, the Lord was like, all right, well, I got y'all, man. I'm about to blind y'all ass, so y'all not going to be able to see, even though it's right there in your face, man. Just like back then, right? The example we was just reading about how there was basically a deaf and a dumb man, all right, that the Lord wound up giving him his hearing and making him able to speak again. But yet they say, oh, he got a devil on him. He doing this by demons. He put demons on it. How the hell he put demons on somebody who already had demons on him and the nigga got better, man? Don't make no sense, man. All right, you know, you got to do this out here killing folks, and you got the EMS coming to revive them, and all of a sudden you say, oh, he killing them, man. Nah, man, he's out here helping these people, man. Or I'll give you a different example. You got an arsonist, a person's coming to set fire to the building, and you got the fire department rolling up with the water hose and stuff, and you blaming the fire department for, oh, they over there setting the building on fire. Like, how we setting the building on fire using water? You don't set fires with water. You put fires out with water. Like, you niggas is just completely blind, man. All right, but that's 2/3 of our people. But guess what? It wasn't given unto them to know the kingdom, to see the mysteries and know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven. It was given unto the elect. So this, again, why we don't cast our pearls before swine. Why we don't waste our time with these niggas, man. All right, because they're not going to get it no way, man. All right, let's go back. Matthew 13 and 15, it says, let me go up to 14. And in them is fulfilled the prophecy of Elias, which saith, by hearing you shall hear and shall not understand, and seeing you shall see and not perceive. For this people's heart is waxed gross, and their ears are dull of hearing, and their eyes have they closed, lest at any time they should see with their eyes and hear with their ears, and should understand with their heart, and should be converted, and I shall heal them. All right, hey, you got to get your punishment. It says, but blessed are your eyes, for they see, and your ears, for they hear. For verily I say unto you, so let me go back. Blessed are your eyes, for they see, and your ears, for they hear. And it's not saying just because, you know, your eyes are open and you can see that there's a dog walking down the street, you know what I'm saying? Like, nah, that ain't what it's talking about, man. Blessed are your eyes, because when we show you certain things, you can see that these are the prophecies. You can see this is what the Lord spoke about, man. You can see that these are the things coming to pass, man. Or when you hear certain things, you know, oh, yeah. You hear certain prophecies, yeah, you believe that. You understand those things. Oh, yeah, I get it. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I see this is going on. Yeah. Oh, the MOTB, yeah, the RFID chip. Oh, yeah, they're going to put that in you. Oh, yeah, buying and selling. Oh, yeah, that's definitely what that is, man. I mean, you could, a lot of the times with the elect, you could tell them one time, you know what I'm saying, and they get it, man. Even through, you know, watching the videos and stuff, when you first come into it, there's a lot of calamities and noise and stuff going on around. But guess what? The elect's ears are set to be able to hear throughout all that madness, man, and hear all those different things, man. To hear the worst is coming out, man. Or even, you know, to be walking, you see it sometimes happening where, you know, maybe a group of people walking down the street, you know, all the different noise of the downtown going on and everything else like that. But all of a sudden, you know, that one person, it's just something to catch their ear, and they're like, hold on, what's going on? People may be riding down the street, got the music up, blasting, and they bend the corner, and all of a sudden they be like, wait, what y'all talking about? And then they pull up, man. They hear these things, and they start listening for a certain point in time, man. And it starts ringing, and you can see it in their eyes, like, damn, you know, these dots starting to connect in the midst of my brain right about now. I'm starting to understand and see what's going on here. But, hey, that's only for the elect to understand, man. It's not for everybody else to get, man, because why? 2/3 of our people are slated for death, because why? They refuse to understand and refuse to believe in the Lord when the Lord was on the scene, man, showing them all these here miracles. So how much more in these latter times, man, where you got more miracles and greater miracles happening every day, man. All right, you know, you have the major miracle of what? The Valley of the Dry Bones, Jake waking up. All right, you know, you seeing the breaches between the kingdoms coming back together. All right, you seeing all these different things happening, but yet and still, you know, wars, rumors of wars, all these prophecies coming to pass, but yet and still you have Jake that's out here. Oh, no, we need to see a sign. We need to see a miracle being happening. Man, there's miracles happening day in and day out, man. All right, raising from the dead. You know, we was in a dead state thinking of ourselves as just regular ass niggas and shit like that, man. All right, but then all of a sudden now we changed our whole lives, man. All right, seeing, you know, what type of background and lives that, you know, some of the brothers come from and everything else like that to who they are nowadays, man. All right, you know, hey, man, if you've been in this truth, you know how people that have known you in the past, like, damn, he used to do this and that with us. Now he completely against all these things, man. Yeah, something happened with him, yeah. I don't know, I don't really agree with what he got going on, but you know what, you know, this is, you know, pretty much one of my testimonies, you know what I'm saying, like, from people that I used to know and grew up with and everything else like that, you know. Hey, they might have separated themselves from you, but then they're like, man, you know, we don't hang out with him no more and everything else like that. But I will say one thing about him is, you know, he ain't, not to say he bugging, he might say he crazy or something like that, but whatever he doing, he ain't like really just going off. In fact, he made a better self for himself, you know, a better life for himself, more or less to say. All right, you know, he ain't out here doing the fuck shit that we out here doing no more. But hey, you know, hey, he, you know, he just doing what he doing, man. All right, you know, you have like in a sense of I forgot what movie that was, but they was out there gangbanging and shit like that, and then the dude wound up going to college and going to school and everything else like that, and then the dudes from the block see him, you know what I'm saying, instead of like, nah, just leave him alone, man, he going to school, he doing better for his life now, man. You know, it's not like he so-called crazy, like, man, he stopped gangbanging, what's wrong with him? Nah, but he at least stopped this, and now he doing something better for his life, more or less, you know. But continuing on, let me finish this off. Matthew chapter 13 and verse 16. Blessed are your eyes, for they see, and your ears, for they hear. For verily I say unto you that many prophets and righteous men have desired to see those things which you see and have not seen them, and to hear those things which you hear and have not heard them. So, amen, many generations have passed, all right, for them, reading these scriptures and wanting to see these things come to pass. We can talk about the MOTB alone, man. For over 2,000 years, people have been reading about the MOTB, wanting to see these things come to pass. You talk to some of your grandparents, like we opened up in 2 Peter chapter 3. A lot of them say, hey, man, things have been going on the same since my fathers was young kids and things like that. Since my grandparents was young and everything else like that, man. Things continue on from the beginning like ain't nothing happened, man. All right, but, hey, they've all wanted to see these things, but guess what? They all happening in our lifetime right about now, man. Blessed are your eyes because what? You start to see, damn, man, they preparing that MOTB. You see Elon Musk with that Neuralink over there, man. You see him over here popping with this and popping with that. But, hey, man, they getting it popping. Matter of fact, let me, we'll get back because I want to read this real quick. We'll get back to this Matthew 24. All right. I want to read this because that's a prime time to bring this here out because, hey, speaking about blessed your eyes to see the things you see and hear the things you hear, here's an article, all right, which brings a prime example. You see these things, you hear about these things, you should know exactly what time we in, man, all right, to be able to measure the times diligently. Give me 1 second to open up this here article. All right, now this was, I know this was the other day. I'm trying to find a date on it real quick. Give me a second. All right. Thursday, May 19th, 2022, 4:25 p.m. Right? This is from LifeSite. All right. Let me see if we can get it. Boom. Right? Let me see if we can get a date on there. Boom. Right? So as you see, it says Iran rolls out digital bread rationing with biometrics ID. All right? Blessed are your eyes will see the things you see, and the ears for you hear the things that you hear and understand. That's all we should have to, for the elect, man. That's all we have to say, man. You should, oh shit. Hey, let me wipe my face. Let me get up, get my shoes on. It's time. Hey, repentance. Let's repent. Let's get ready to go, man. Hey, because, hey, man, these prophecies are speaking loud and clear, man. Hey, we know that the prophecy is for a appointed time, but at the end it's going to speak. Hey, man, we right here at it, man. We right here where these things are starting to speak loud and clear, man. All right, it's no more question of what these things should be, man. All right, the things that should trigger in your mind. No man might be able to buy or sell, say if he have the mark. And here we're talking about rationing out bread in the middle of a global economic collapse. Talking about being able to get some food, the foundations of food, just some bread. All right, shit, they got a digital, what? Wait, digital food price buying? Oh, that sounds like the MOTB all day. These are things that should be firing off in your mind right about now, man. If you have the eyesight to see, if the Lord bless you with the ears to hear, all right? Hey, like we just read, many righteous men and prophets desire to hear the things that you hear and see the things that you see and have not seen them, man. Because it wasn't in their times. It wasn't appointed for their time or their day. It's appointed for our time and our day, for this generation, man. This is the time when these things was going to come to pass. This was going to be the time when the Lord was going to start bringing all these prophecies coming to pass, man. This was going to be the time where the Lord was going to raise up all the prophets, man. A lot of you men that's out here on the highways and the byways is preaching and things like that, man, while everybody else is so-called fulfilling their lots and doing whatever they was going to be doing. You got a lot of these people out here becoming rich and becoming inventors and making millions and millions of dollars. And you're like, well, what was my life supposed to be? What was I supposed to be doing in life? I wanted to do this and do that, man. Hey, the Lord, this is your time to be a prophet, man. This is why the Lord brought you back on the earth, man. The Lord brought you back at this point in time to rise you up for you to prophesy in these times, man. You actually got the greatest job on earth, man. You over here watching the guys of these people like Kevin Samuels talk about high-value men and everything else like that, and you got a lot of Jake that's out there trying to be these high-value men for these here women and things like that, but what they don't really tell you, the scriptures tell you, man, in that day 7 women shall come to one man, saying we will, how they say, eat our own bread and wear our own apparel, make our own bread and wear our own apparel, roughly paraphrasing. Only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach. All right, the Lord's going to make a man more precious than the golden wedge of Ophir. All right, a man going to be a hiding place from the covert. All right, what kind of man? A righteous man, a man of the Lord, man. All right, hey, at that point in time, you're going to be the real high-value man because why? Wisdom and knowledge is going to be the stability of our time, man. All this 6-figure income ain't going to mean shit. All right, so you saying what? Just because you don't make 6 figures a year, you gonna die of famine and things like that? No, man. The Lord said, hey, my servants going to eat, but you shall be hungry. All right, my servants going to rejoice for joy of heart. You gonna sorrow for sorrow of heart, roughly paraphrasing, man. all right, from vexation of spirit, because you're gonna be like, man, I got all this here money, I got all this here, all these funds and everything else like that, and I can't even eat, man. They didn't shut me out of this here scenario, man. They forcing me to do this and forcing me to do that. But hey, at the end of the day, man, this is only for the elect's sake. This is for the Lord elect to be redeemed from these things, man. All right. So let's go ahead and read this here article. It says Iran rolls out digital bread rationing with biometrics ID. It says the new digital rations for subsidized foods were announced following a spike in the global cost of wheat. So you have right now, again, the wars and the rumors of wars and these things taking place to where, famines and things like that would be coming upon the earth based off of what? Hey, people are struggling to be able to, countries are struggling to be able to trade in the midst of what? We got to focus on or trade and farm and to produce certain things, because we got to focus on what? We have to focus on the fact of a war going on right about now. So we can't really focus on trying to export food out, man. And even if you do have to export food out in this here area and everything else like that, hey, man, you have to worry about, hey, man, whether their battleship is going to get seized, if it's going to get bombed in the middle of all that warfare. So, hey, man, it's not really good to be shipping, goods in the middle of a battlefield, man. So with all these different things and then the sanctions going on in Russia and everything else like that, it's causing the price of everything to go up. So this is a global so-called crisis that's going on, man. All right, it's not just here in your town, your city, all right, and your state where price of food and everything is going up. This is going on around the globe. So reading a little bit of this here article, it says Iran rolls out digital bread rationing with biometrics ID. All right, and biometrics go into what? The measurement of life. All right, where they can, you have your smart watches and they have the heart monitor things, those Fitbits and everything else like that. You see them with the fingerprint scanners, your facial scanners and everything else like that, man. That's all what they call biometrics, the measurements of life. Your boy George Bush signed this into law back when he was in office. It's called the Real ID Act, man, where you would have to have basically, that's when they signed all this serious stuff into law, man, way back when. Then they had upgraded it with Obama and so on and so forth, man. But now this is the time now where they're actually bringing it to come to play, man. All right. So it says the new digital rations for subsidized foods were announced following a spike in global cost of wheat. It says Iran has announced it will be rolling out digital coupons to ration bread to its citizens as it cuts back bread subsidies, with the country's president saying are being wasted. All right. I don't know what this was about. We just had like 4 police roll up. They took off. Hey, call halal, how about Shimi? I was shot, man. Hey, man. And it's just another small testimony. A couple police just rolled up. I don't know if somebody called the police because this lady just rode around the block a couple times, but a couple police just rolled up and then they just took off within a matter of seconds. But hey, call halal, how about Shimi? I was shot. We ain't doing nothing but out here, hey, preaching. All right, we're reading the scriptures, reading articles, man. All right, but hey, we not out here to be entertained by that mess anyway. Hey, another testimony. Hey, the Lord will keep his hedge around his servants, man. All right, you see these other niggas out here, man, and you see what the police is doing to them. You see what these other niggas is doing to them, man. All right, but continuing on, it says Iran has announced it will be rolling out digital coupons to ration bread to its citizens as it cuts back bread subsidies, which the country's president says are being wasted. All right, the government will, and right now I seen a video where they was actually protesting a president and a supreme leader over there, man. So that could even be a so-called coup being ran by the Western powers, by America and them, because that's what they good for, man. All right, causing what they call uproars of the people or riots, and revolutions in these different nations, calling for the leaders to be overthrown and everything else like that, when in reality the people don't really give a damn. Not to say they don't give a damn, but they kind of like the leaders, like Muammar Gaddafi, man. All right, they showed us on TV, oh, we hate him, we trying to get rid of him and kill him, and then they said so-called that the people wound up taking him out of power and destroying his convoy, when in fact, hey man, NATO and them wound up striking his convoy, and the nigga that pretty much captured him and everything else like that had a New York Yankees hat on, man. How we know? It's easy for them to go over there and get these little actors and send forth spies over in their country and stuff like that, man. But hey, it says the government will be offering citizens digital coupons. All right. So what should be ringing in your ear? Buying and selling. No man should be able to buy or sell save he that have the mark. It says the government will offer citizens digital coupons that will allow them access to limited amount of bread at subsidized prices, while the rest will be available at market rates. So what? That's that squeeze, man. Hey man, we're not forcing you. Hey man, you want it at a cheaper price? Go ahead, man. So what? This is that problem reaction solution. All right. Hey, on one side, the price of food and the price of everything is going up, where the people are crying out, hey man, we can't afford this, we can't afford that, man. And on the other side, you got a scarcity of these things going coming into place. So hey man, we can't find this, we can't find that. So guess what? Problem, reaction, solution. That's the problem. The reaction is the people's crying out, hey man, we can't find the food on the shelves no more, and then when we do, it's too expensive for us to afford. All right, well, what's the solution? We'll give you a subsidized, digital subsidized voucher, man. Just take this, and then you can go and get all this. All your worries will be alleviated. We'll be your savior, man. We'll be your God. We'll save you from all these things, man. And this is what he's pushing for, man. This is exactly what Esau got planned for you people out here, man. All right, it says and don't think just because we're reading about Iran, oh, that's in Iran, what that got to do with America? Again, man, if that's your mindset, man, hey, turn the channel off, man. This ain't for you, man. You blinded, man. All right, because, hey, it's just because it's happening over there don't mean it's not going to happen over here. Because look around you, man. The same shit's going on with you right here in America, man. All right, so it ain't too far off from the time when they're going to actually implement these same things here in America, man. All right. It says the food rationing can be enforced via Iran's biometrics national identity card, which started phasing in from 2015 and which is now issued to all new applicants for all renewal according to the minority rights. The card includes a smart chip, all right? You know, going back into with the MOTB, man, the controversy of what this here thing is, but guess what the scripture said? At the end it's going to speak and not lie, all right? Though it tarry, wait for it. So now, what do you keep seeing all these headlines, all these articles talking about? A chip, a chip, a chip, a chip, a chip. You know, you have people telling some it's June, there ain't no chip. Now, hey, even now, you know, hey, the prophecies are speaking loud and clear. We can stand back and just let the prophecies speak for themselves nowadays, man. All right, but we was out here to forewarn you before they come to pass, but now they speaking on their own, man. All right, and if you don't want to listen, that's on your ass, man. The blood is off our hand. You gonna die in your own sins, man. But the blood is off of our hands, man. That's all we got to say about it. All right. Oh man, hold on. Let me get back to this article. All right, it's all right. Hang on, what was that? It says the card includes. It says the card includes a smart chip and stores biometric data, which includes iris scans, fingerprints, and facial images, and is already being used by access a variety of governmental services. All right, and so hey man, you want these governmental services and things like that? You know, America's already a damn near a welfare state. You know, and this is one of the last of the welfare states because you have other countries that have what they call free health care, all right, and things like that. And they, oh, we need this, we need that, we can't afford these things, we need the government to take care of us. And people don't realize, man, you know, they say, oh, this is a shitty country. How come these countries get free health care? Like, you don't want all this free stuff, man. Hey, man, you want the government to take care of you. You want free health care. You want free food, free water, free housing, and everything. Go commit a goddamn crime and go get locked up. You'll have free housing, free food. You'll have free electricity. You'll have free every goddamn thing in there, but guess what? You're going to be working for pennies on a dollar, and you're going to be somebody's slave, man. All right, but hey, this is what the people don't realize. This is what this here system's coming to. Let me read a little bit of this in the scripture and break this down as we go along in this here article. All right, I'm going to read it in the blue letter because, hey, as you know, as we're going to get to some of these here words, all right, you're going to see it come to pass right here in this here article, all right? So we're going to read through it real quick, and then we'll go back. Revelation 13:16. All right, it says, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or on their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that have the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. Hey, and some people say, hey, well, you reading the article, it ain't forcing them people to go do that. They can do it if they want to. They ain't got to do it if they don't want to. Like, hey, man, look, it's just like this. Right now, they don't force you to have no email address, now do they? Ain't nobody got a gun to your head saying you need to get your Google email address or you gonna die. No, man, ain't nobody forcing you to get no goddamn email address. But guess what? Nowadays, if you want a cell phone, damn near, you know, mostly all cell phones are all smartphones nowadays. Guess what you're gonna need to be able to access your smartphone, man? Let's just say you want an Apple phone, all right, or an Android phone. Guess what you're gonna need to be able to operate and use that damn phone? All right, for you to be able to open up and use any of the apps, you're gonna need to be able to sign in with some type of email account. But guess what? You know, they're not forcing you to get an email account. They're not forcing you to use the phone. But let's just say you need that damn phone for your job, man. Well, it looks like you won't be working here. Looks like you won't be able, you know, let's say you need an app to be able to clock in at your job, all right, and able to get your paycheck and everything else like that. You know what I'm saying? Look, man, we ain't got no gun to your head forcing you to get this here app, man. Ain't nobody forcing you to get no smartphone. Ain't nobody forcing you to get no email address. But guess what? If you want to get paid, if you want to clock in for this here job, you want to apply for this job, you want to clock in for this job, you want to get your paycheck from this here job, you want to see the schedule for your job, guess what you're going to need, man? You're going to need their app to do all this. And in order to get that app, guess what you're going to need? you're gonna need a email address to be able to sign in to go to the app store. And if you want to be able to sign in to get to the app store, guess what you're gonna need? You're gonna need one of these goddamn phones in order to do all these things, man. So I mean, we're not forcing you, but hey, the choice is up to you. You want to either live or you want to you want to participate or you don't want to participate. You don't have to have the job, but if you don't have the job, you're not gonna be able to eat. You're not gonna be able to do anything, man. So they forcing you without forcing you, man. All right. It says, let's go back. We'll get into a couple of these words real quick because we was reading about this biometrics, all right? Now going into this here word for mark, which is charagma. All right, it says a stamp and imprinted mark. It says a mark branded upon horses. All right, and we'll get into it, going into the mark of servitude, like you mark a horse, you brand a horse, you brand a cow, showing that, hey, I own that, that's my property, man. Even if they get out the pen or whatever, somebody see your marking on them, like, oh, that's so and so, that's John's cow right there, man. He's got, he got his little brand on there, man. Just like how who manufactured these cars out here, man. They all got logos. If you see an H on the car, oh, that's a Honda, or sometimes it's a Hyundai. You see the little blue oval looking thing, oh, that's a Ford. You see the little brass bow tie, that's a Chevy. All right, what is it, 3 or 4, 5 rings or something like that, that's an Audi. You see certain of these, it's a Bull, it's a Lamborghini. You see some of these different things, that's who made that. You know what I'm saying? That's who owns that. All right, but continuing on, it says, I think carved, it says scratch or etching, a stamp, a badge of servitude, a graven mark. All right. Let's go a little further into this here word. So when you go further into the word, it goes into the word karax, which means, or karax, so to sharpen to a point. All right, just like how they're gonna implement this here into your body. All right, the RFID chips. Go look at how they, what do I say? Like when they want to not install. I mean, you can use the word install because it's a technological thing. But when they put these RFID chips inside of you, man, how do they well, fuck it, we'll use the word install. How do they install these things inside of you, man? Via a syringe, man. They want to put it in a syringe, taking the syringe, and they'll put it inside of you, man. And you look up the images and things like that, they put it in your right hand or in your foreheads, man. Or right now, they put it in your right hands, but you got your boy Elon Musk talking about the Neuralink and put it inside of your foreheads. In fact, let me, hopefully they don't take down the video.
Many have started paying for things with our phones, even watches.
Let's see if you can listen to this.
Well, many have started paying for things with our phones, even watches.
One company, though, wants to take that technology to another level by implanting a chip in your hand.
Listen to this.
So on your right hand or on your forehead, and this is what they talking about right here, man. All right.
Instead of carrying your... Well, many have started paying for things with our phones, even watches.
One company, though, wants to take that technology to another level by implanting a chip in your hand.
And think about the predictive programming, what they said. Hey, some people are already paying for things with their phones or with their watches. What kind of motion do you have with that? You paying for with your phone, you go and you tap it real quick. All right, or with your smartwatch, you go and tap it. But soon, you're going to just wave your hand like that. They already predictive programming you to get these things, all right? Let me play a little more.
Listen to this. Instead of carrying your wallet in your back pocket or your purse, a tech company wants you to keep it under your skin.
All right, so let's explain here. Walletmore is selling microchips implanted in your hand.
So I'm going to show a little bit of this imagery real quick. I don't know if you can, well, you can't see it, but nevertheless, they show somebody scanning their hand over top of the machine. All right.
It's an alternate payment. Could this be the future? Maybe. The overseas company Walletmore is selling the microchip in parts of Europe. It's about the size of a grain of rice. Goes under the skin. It's then.
And again, like I said, I doubt if you'd be able to see this, but let me turn it. Hang on one second.
Goes under the.
I don't know if you can see that, but they have it right there inside the hand, imprinted. All right, but hey, this is exactly what we've been preaching about, man. All right, so hey, like we said, blessed are your eyes to see the things that you see, and hear the things that you hear, because hey, man, this is the time that all these things will be coming to play, man. So let's get back into this here word, going into Karax. All right, it says from Karax to sharpen to a point akin to G1125. We'll get into that, but it says through the idea of scratching a pail, a stake, or a palisade. So the way that they put these things in, like I said, they take a syringe and they shoot it, sharpen to a skin. You know what a syringe is, like a needle. All right, sharpen to a point, just like a stake or a palisade, or like vampires. The vampire movies, they kill them with the stakes. It's sharpened to a point, or like a pencil. All right, the same thing is like what a syringe is, man. It's like almost like the shape of it is like a pencil that's hollowed out, and they stick you with it, man. All right, so this is how they're gonna want to put that mark inside of you. All right, they're gonna scratch or etch the skin or cut the skin with this pail or a stake or this syringe. All right, to basically put this here mark inside of you. All right. It says let's go a little further into this here word. Now when you go further into this here word, all right, it says the word is grapho, right? When we was reading about the biometrics, which is the measurements of life, all right, which, let me see, let me go back to this. All right, so going back, it says the card includes a smart chip and stores biometric data, including an iris scan, which is your eye, fingerprints, and facial images, and have already been used to access a variety of governmental services. Now, hey, if you look at your cell phones nowadays, you have little things like on this here phone, there's a fingerprint scanner there, and then there's also one at the very bottom. You have the facial recognition on your phone and everything else like that. So you see people sitting there just unlocking their phones with their face or just with their little finger and everything else like that, man. Hey, so I mean, they've already been getting the data. You've been willingly giving them this here data, man. You see all these apps with the face filters and things like that. What do you think that those things are for, man? How you think that they gave it to you in a so-called luxury thing? Because if they told you, look, every day, every month, we need you to sit here and upload new images of yourself and from different angles and stuff, and hold the camera here, hold the camera there. No, they gave you these different apps so you can get the facial recognition and things like that to build up their profile for you, man. But ultimately, this is going into what? The mark of the beast system and everything else like that, man. But ultimately, this is what they're going into. So it says the card includes a smart chip and stores biometric data, including the iris scan, fingerprints, and facial images, and is already being used to access a variety of governmental services. Now, let's go back into this here word, all right, where it goes further into grapho, which means to write with reference to the form of letters. All right, so this information, let me go down a little bit further. It says to write with reference to contents of the writing. So again, your biometrics, when you look that up, it's basically bio, life, metrics, measurements, the measurements of life. Like you can have those Fitbits, they track your heart rate monitor, your sleep and aid and everything else like that. Your fingerprints. All right, all these different things is what you call biometrics. When they basically, measurements of life. All right, you can see your heart rate monitors and all these different things. This is what these things are. It says to write to one by writing in a written epistle to give information or directions to fill with writing. So what they're gonna have on this here chip is gonna be what? Your records, your information, certain things, whether it's gonna be your financial records, how much money you have on there. All right, you can also see these things happening with the what do we call it, blue verification mark from the not the MOTB, that's what it is, but from the pandemic that's going on. All right, they want to see who's well and who's not well. They got the new shit popping off now with the monkeypox. All right, they about to have all these plagues and pestilence going on where everybody's gonna be scared of everything. They're gonna need to know your health records. We don't need to go into another global pandemic. We've already seen what can happen, and this can cripple this. We don't jump ahead of it right now. We need to be able to know everybody's health status. Everybody's health status. How do I say? In real time, more to say, man. We can't be sitting here waiting on no test to come back. They showed you that with the whole situation we just had. You had the regular test to take so long, to come back and everything else like that. So what was the problem, reaction, solution to that? Oh, we need rapid tests. We need them to be able to come back in 15 minutes. All right, what do they need faster than that? Well, we need to know if, because some of the tests work, some of the tests don't work. Well, we need something inside of you that's going to let us know immediately as soon as you contract these things, because we can help cure this as soon as possible. If we can know as soon as possible as you get you contract these things, man, to help stop the spread of these things so we don't have another global shutdown. And guess what? People are going to flock to that because they don't want these things to happen again. All right? So let me go back a little bit. Oh, Salak. All right. So, Salakia. Going into this here word for stigma, all right, it says from stizo to stick or to prick. Like I was saying with that syringe or that palisade or that stake, how they gonna put that there chip inside of you? What are they gonna do? They're gonna stick you with it, right? It says a mark pricked in. All right, going back to that word mark. All right, it's gonna be pricked inside the skin. A mark pricked in or branded upon the body. To the ancient Oriental usage, slaves and soldiers bore the name or the stamp of their master's commander branded pricked cut into their bodies to indicate what master or general they belonged to. And there were also some devotees who stamped themselves this way in the token to their gods. So, you know, in a situation where you had a lot of people that was, you know, that kind of listened to what we were saying and things like that beforehand, you know, those Johnny-come-latelys, you know, that those false prophets out there and things like that that don't want to hearken to certain things, but then when certain things come to pass, it seems lucrative unto them. They want to jump on a bandwagon. You know how, you know, a lot of these people weren't into a lot of these things, but when this pandemic started, you know, they want to start talking about, oh, it's the 5G, it's the 5G, don't know nothing about goddamn 5G. All right, then they start talking, you know, they never said nothing about nothing scriptural, but then when they started coming out with the juicy juice, they want to start telling you it's the MOTB, but that ain't what that is, man. All right, but now we starting to see these different things come to play. Now, you know, these are different phases coming into these things, man. All right, you know, because when you had that mask, you wouldn't, in certain places, you wasn't able to buy or sell or go into any of these establishments unless you had that mask on, right? Then it went to phase 2. All right, these are all trial runs into the ultimate thing, man. And as you can see, what are they still rolling out on right now, man? They're not rolling out saying, hey, you can get bread rations if you have this here, the juicy juice. No, man, they trying to give you this goddamn chip, man. This is what they trying to go to, man. This is the end all be all, the end game goal with this here thing, man. All right, so I'm gonna read a little more of this here article because it gets a little better about how, you know, for those that say that, oh, it's just in Iran, right? It says the news outlets noted that many cash-strapped Iranians, all right, you can replace that with these Americans because many of these Americans are cash-strapped, man. Many folks can't afford the food. You have the middle class that's being trimmed down, becoming more and more homeless, man. All right, the people that's the rising rate of homelessness is not coming from people that's strung out on drugs, man. The rising rate of homelessness is coming from working class Americans, man. People who got jobs, people who regular ass people out here, man. All right, who just can't afford rent, can't afford the price of food, can't afford the price of gas, can't afford a car breaking down and things like that, who fall on hard times because of economic woes, man. All right, people right about now are hitting on hard times because of these things, man. All right, not because they just, we was growing up hanging out on the block with the homies and started doing some hardcore drugs and now we done got kicked out of mama house. Them ain't the people that's really going homeless right about now, man. It's these regular everyday ass working Americans, man. All right, look about that, the rising homelessness and the new homeless people, man. You'll be surprised. Hey, hell, you may be going to work and working with some of these people. Patty at the job, at the office, may be homeless, man. Patty at the job may be going with her gym membership back to the gym to shower every damn day, going back into her car in a Walmart parking lot and going to sleep out there in that bitch, man. All right, you may not never know. Or Patty at the job got a second job at the hotel so she can sleep at that bitch at nighttime, man. You may never know how these people really living out here, man. All right. It says the news outlets, and it will surprise you about the people that's homeless, man. Like I said, this was a couple years back before all the pandemic thing started, man. You had a rise of homelessness and things like this, and again, it wasn't these people that's strung out on drugs, people that's just working class people, man. You had some of these women that look so-called decent and things like that, you know, the ones that could sit there and kind of finesse a man, try to live with him and everything else like that, but hey, that only lasts for so long, man. All right, you got that place called Kensington. I think it's called Kensington. Let me look it up real quick. In Philadelphia and things like that, where these people was just walking around, you know, well, they are all out there on drugs and stuff, strung out and everything else like that from all these different things, man. Let me see. Yes, Kensington Ave. Our streets of Philadelphia. Look that shit up, man. That shit is bugged out, man. All right, look like a third world country. You think these things can't come to America? I'm telling you, look it up. It's Kensington, Kensington, Philadelphia, man. Look that up. You'd be surprised at what America's looking like. And this is the lower down levels, man. All right, you seeing more and more of these tent cities popping up all over the place, man. More and more of these people becoming homeless. More and more people being strung out on drugs, man. Because why? The woes of this here world is dragging them to it, man. These people nowadays aren't becoming drug addicts and alcoholics because they just want to go have fun and live in, you know, like you see these folks that graduate high school and start the partying phase, and then they just end up in that lifestyle and never get up out of that lifestyle, or go to college and start in this lifestyle and end up in that lifestyle. No, man, these people are falling into these lifestyles because of why? Lamentations, mournings, and woes, man. Financial reckoning is hitting their ass, man. All kind of bad things are happening until they lost their job. You know, the pandemic, they shut down their job. They lost the job, can't get work. Lost their house, got into debt, you know, took out loans and can't bounce back. And now look at them, man. All right, so you see a lot of these people in economic straits. So when they implement something like, look, man, you can get the housing voucher, food voucher, water voucher, and all these different vouchers, baby formula vouchers and things like that. If only you just take this here mark, man. Take this here mark from us, and we'll give you all these things. You know, problem, reaction, solution, man. It's easy to get these people to conform unto you when you got them in dire straits, man. It's easy for people to, you know, take a so-called, you know, it's easy to give somebody some goddamn poisonous liquid when they over there dehydrated and thirsty, man. It's easy to give somebody a shit sandwich when they over there starving to death, man. All right, you know, when you at the people, hey, I'll take whatever, man. You know, somebody, hey, it's easy to give somebody whatever job that they want when they applying, and can't get no job and all their bills is piled up. They'll take the worst job that there is. Hey, man, it's the only job I can find, bro. Y'all ever heard somebody say something like that? Hey, it's the best I can get right now, so I got to take what I can get, man. All right, and this is what the things is coming to right about now, man. All right, so continuing on in this here article, it says the news outlets noted that many cash-strapped Iranians have come to rely on Iran's food subsidy program. All right, you know, like a welfare state, and that's what it's coming to here in America as well, too. It says, indeed, one agricultural researcher, Christian Westbrook, has pointed out that for the 50% of Iranians that live below the poverty line, buying at market rate is not an option. And, you know, contrary to popular belief, you know, most Americans make around, what, $50,000 a year, man. Most Americans make under $100,000 a year, man. So, you know, $50,000 a year ain't that much money, man, to try to survive off of, especially when things is increasing, man. So, hey, man, you know, you got to sit here and think about that. That's like, what, 50,000 a year is, what, 100,000? So that's what, like, let's just say around $5,000 a month, man. All right, so, hey, you know, some people, you know, granted, some people obviously is making it do with those things, but you talking about these so-called well-off people. You know, Jake is pretty much at the bottom of the barrel and surviving on what they can survive off of. But those, you know, let's say, Jake, you living in apartments and things like that and barely making it in terms of 50,000, shit, I can live off of that. But no, we talking about the people that's got the 2-car garage, nice car, doing this and doing that. They the ones living off 50 G's, and now they can't even afford to live. So, hey, man, things is getting bad all over the globe, man. All right? It says, Westbrook has pointed out that the 50% of Iranians that live below the poverty line buying at market rate is not an option. According to FBN Global News, the market prices are about 7 times higher than those of the subsidized currency. It says, so this is not an opt-in system, said Westbrook, who founded the Ice Age Farmers podcast and a commentary on Iran's new plan. It might be presented that way, but it is telling the people of the country who depend on these bread subsidies now they need to go sign up for the mark. All right, and it's funny how they use the term, and it's in parentheses, they need to go sign up for the mark. All right, hey, they squeezing them to these things. Like I gave the example of the cell phone and the email address and everything else like that. Look, bro, I mean, I don't know how much longer you think you're gonna be able to go out here and you know, go with the old ways, trying to apply for a job, just walking in and apply for a job, and they're gonna ask you for, hey, we need you to email us a resume, we need you to do this and do that. Yeah, you the one still don't want to go get an email address, bro. But you need to get this bad boy if you want to, you know, have things working. We're not forcing you again, but if you want to make it, this is what you're gonna need. All right, and this is what we coming down to. It says Iranian's president Ibrahim Raisi cited corruption and waste of as a motive for the new digital coupon system, which will be enforced in about 2 months for subsidized bread purchases and will later include other subsidized foods such as chicken, cheese, and vegetable oil. So this isn't just a temporary fix. This is the beginning of a whole new system, man. All right, these things are gonna keep going on and going on for time to come, man. These things are gonna be become a new norm out here, man. All right, so for you people, oh, that's in Iran, it's gonna be over with, everything gonna bounce back. No, man, these things is gonna be here to stay. Just like with the global sickness thing, you very rarely hear about that, you know, anymore. But guess what's still out in the news? Hey, man, you still gotta go get that jump shot, man. You still gotta go get that juicy juice, man. You still gotta go and show records of these different things, man. That ain't disappearing, man. These things are continuing on as they were from the beginning. All right. It says, today subsidies are being wasted. Nope. Yep. Today subsidies are being wasted, and people are witnessing, or are witness to corruption and discrimination in this regard. How can we let this continue? Rossi said in a televised interview Monday night. People and the elite urge us to reform the economy, and we are determined to do so. So, hey, problem, reaction, solution. Hey, man, things is getting bad out there, and they looking at the government. The government need to do something, man. And that's how the simple-minded ass niggas out here in America, not, well, the majority of you Americans, man, is looking for, man. Just talking about something. Hey, man, we need this, we need that, we need this, we need that. Matter of fact, I was talking to somebody just last night, right? You know, a so-called black person last night who used to say how racist Trump was and how fucked up Trump was, this and that. Like, look, man, y'all gotta stop watching the news and the media and getting y'all all in these emotions about this. So, like, look at these black folks, man. They was over here championing Obama, like Obama was their god. But what did Obama do for you? He did more for the community than he did for your ass, man. All right, and then talking about Trump, like, look, at least under Trump, you got 3 stimulus checks. Under Biden, you got 1 stimulus check, but it was signed by Trump. So Trump then gave the money, or Trump gave you the money, put money in your pocket, made it better for you. Gas prices wasn't this high up under this nigga. Grocery store prices wasn't this high up under him. All these things wasn't happening up under him, but up under this guy that all these black folks said if you don't vote for him, you're not black, and this is, we got to do this because this nigga racist and this and that, we got to vote for him. Hey, up under him, man, he been taking the money and been sending it overseas into some other bullshit, feeding everybody else's kids and not feeding your kids, man. So you have our people that's just sitting here that's just dumb with a lot of these things that's going to sit out here and say, oh, we need the government to do something about these things. We need the government to step in. Hey, it's the government that's doing these things unto you, man. It's the government that's formulating these things like this, man. Hey, man, we wouldn't have a rise in price of all kind of things if America would have stayed their ass at home dealing with the Ukraine situation. These prices wouldn't be going up if America wouldn't be trying to put sanctions on Russia and all these different things, man. If America wouldn't be sending aid over to Ukraine and everything else like that, how about you spend the money over here instead of sending the money over there? It ain't their fault that we over in these problems. It's our own government's fault, but most Americans don't see these things, man. But this is all orchestrated from the top down because this is their plan and their agenda, man, to bring in that new world order to implement their chip. So it says spikes in the price of wheat triggered at the onset of the Russian-Ukraine war have increased the cost of government subsidies, while economist Saeed Lalez said necessitated the new painful surgery for Iran's economy. Iran's economy cannot afford to continue this money slashing anymore. It says the rising bread prices have also sparked demonstrations in the southern Iranian towns, according to FBN Global News. Westbrook believes that Iran's biometric ID-based food rationing system, which he says is the first of its kind in the world, is a bellwether for other digital ID initiatives and will be rolled out across the globe. So let me read that last little portion again. All right. It says Westbrook believes that Iran's biometric ID-based food rationing system, which he says is the first of its kind in the world, which we know that there's a different type of system like this with the what they call it, the Chinese social credit system. So and this is what people are taking into account, man. I always bring this out. All roads lead to the MOTB. All right, whether they like in this scenario, we talking about an economic downturn, man, an economic collapse, and for the price of this and the price of that to be able to buy and sell, we need to bring on this here chip. The chip is going to solve the economic problem. But when it comes to the medical situation and knowing who's got this and who's got that in real time, guess what's going to solve that problem? The chip. So all these different roads is leading to the same thing. Oh, we need to know who's American and who's not American. We need to know who's these immigrants and these terrorists. How are we going to know about that? Well, the chip, the ID is going to tell us who is who. All right. You know, you had your boy Trump even said that, hey, we need to have voter ID, voter identification and things like that. We need to know who's American, who's not American, and steal these elections. What's going to solve that? The chip, man. All roads lead to the chip, man. All these things is coming to what? The New World Order plan and agenda to do what? It causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive this here mark. All right, because nobody's going to be able to escape all these things. Like, look, man, I got $1 billion, trillion, quadrillion. I don't need to be able to buy food. I can buy food at the most expensive rate. All right, well, fuck it. Maybe you don't need the chip to buy it because you got all that there money. But guess what? We need to be able to know for you to be able to travel to see if you got this here illness or if you don't got this illness. So you're gonna still need the chip. Oh, I ain't gonna need the chip for that. You know, I got this and that. Well, we gonna need to know if you a goddamn terrorist or if you're not a terrorist, or if you get kidnapped, we gonna need to know where you at. So we gonna have to be able to track you with these here things, man. So one way or the other, man, in order to enter some of these countries, you're gonna need these certain passports and things to know who is who. All right. So again, all things is gonna lead to what? The mark of the beast, man. And we see all these things happening right here before our eyes, man. These prophecies are speaking loud and clear before our eyes, man. We hear them loud and clear, but yet and still, 2/3 of our people, they want to be oblivious to these things. 2/3 of our people want to sit here and ignore these facts. 2/3 of our people want to sit here and be how do I say? They want to be nonchalant. You know, they want to act like, oh, this ain't what this is. So continuing on. It's a little bit more in this here. Let me read this here paragraph again. It says, the rosin bread prices have also sparked demonstrations. What's up, man? Niggas. It's all good. The rosin price and bread, goddamn, police be tripping. But anyway, the rosin bread price have also sparked demonstrations in southern Iranian town, according to FBN Global News. Westbrook believes that the Iran biometric ID-based food rationing system, which he says is the first of its kind in the world, is a bellwether for other digital ID initiatives, and that will be rolled out across the globe. So like I said, there's multiple different ones that's going on around the globe, but for different reasons. You know, like I said, the Chinese social credit system, to be able to track all these people. Like, you can look that up. I forgot what they have an app, and with the app they can pay all their bills. You know, they can order a cab, like order an Uber. Everything goes to their app, man. You know, in order to access certain buildings and things like that, because, you know, the way their government is set up and everything else like that, everything is tied into the damn government, man. All right, so hey, they'll be like, well, you know, they got the facial recognition system going on over there. The fact of the matter, they had you with these face masks, wearing the face masks and things. In fact, they don't really even do facial recognition from the front facing no more. They've already been perfected that, man, a long time ago. In fact, the new facial recognition is coming from top down. They measure your ears, top of your head, how your arm swing and everything else like that. They have it's a system called the Argus system, all right? And you can look that up on YouTube, the Argus system. Let me see if I can find the exact name of it. And they'll show you how they have these drones. Hang on. Argus surveillance system, all right? In fact, boom. First video popped up for me, but it says 1.8 gigapixel Argus IS, world's highest resolution video camera or video surveillance system. And in this here situation, they sit there and they have like a drone flying over the area, and they can rewind time and fast forward time. Now, if you're watching the movie I think it's the Batman and Dark Knight, when they're trying to find out where the girl name was Rachel, I believe her name was, where the Joker had them about to blow them up and shit like that. All right, they had that what's his name? The old black guy. His name in the movie was Fox. Morgan Freeman. He used that big system where, you know, he could track and trace everybody's cell phone and see everything from real time. That's where he was getting that from. He's like, oh, this is a privacy concern thing. But they showed you in that movie, all right, the Argus system. But nevertheless, they have drones flying way up over the sky, and they look down and they can see, you know, whole cities and things like that, and just go on rewind time and everything else like that, man. So they've had this from a long ass time ago, man. They can see all, you know, they have like a 3D scale as well with the systems they have set up to be able to see all these things, man. So hey, man, they got you tracked and traced and ready to go, man. They just need a so-called reason to implement all these things, just like they had the microchip for a long ass time. But now they needed a reason to implement it. Oh, well, now we got global collapse, and now we got to give out digital vouchers and digital subsidies and things like that, man. All right, now we have to have a reason for all these things to come to pass. All right, give me 1 second. So, let me finish this article off. I got about 2 more paragraphs. It says he predicted the price of food rise to the point of being unaffordable it says people will be forced into people will be forced onto these handouts from the government, which he noted are essentially being called for by the Rockefeller Foundation to provide nutritional security. All right, and you know about the Rockefellers? They basically a sub family of the Rothschilds, man. All right, and if you don't know who the Rothschilds are, man, you might as well just cut the video off and go goddamn play in traffic, man. This ain't for you, man. If you don't know who they are, man. All right, but hey, nevertheless, you know, if you want to do your due diligence, look them up. But that should, you know, pretty much explain everything for you. But continuing on, it says, then according to Westbrook, the digital ID that the World Economic Forum established as a crux for the fourth industrial revolution can be rammed through under the pretext of assistance to hungry people. So let me read that again and read it slow for you, because again, this is their plan and their agenda. All right. It says, then according to Westbrook, the digital ID that the World Economic Forum, all right, who is this and what is this going into? The World Economic Forum, all right, a global economy, all right. Lord's will, the police is right around, sitting right there in the corner. Lord's will, that nigga get pulled the fuck over, man. But anyway, fuck them damn devils, man. All right. It says, according to Westbrook, the digital ID that the World Economic Forum establishes as a crux for the fourth industrial revolution. This is going to be the foundation of the new industrial revolution. All right, you know, beforehand they had the latest one was what, machinery and stuff like that. Then you had technology. Well, we're coming into the technological one right now. All right, where things are going to be ran off of technology and what do you call AI and things like that, man. So hey, they're going to need, this is the new system they're trying to go to, where everybody's chipped up and everything else like that, man. All right, you know, the 5G, this is why they have the 5G, to put more and more items onto that internet, the Internet of Things, man. All right, if you ever heard about that Internet 2.0, Internet of Things. All right, it says, then according to Westbrook, the digital ID that the World Economic Forum establishes as a crux for the fourth industrial revolution can be rammed through under the pretext of assistance to hungry people, assistance to hungry people. So under the guise of, when they should say peace and safety, then shall sudden destruction come upon them. All right, or a gift destroyed the heart. This is how they come in. It's like, oh, we're trying to help hungry people, so we have to push this here system on. But in reality, man, it's you know, it's basically the devil coming down with his agenda. It says this already is being planned and implemented around the rest of the world, although it hasn't been announced yet. That's the only difference, says Westbrook. And so, like I was saying, hey man, y'all think that, you know, this is just happening because of the scenario that we in? No, this has been planned from years before this, man. You had an interview with Alex Jones from Aaron Russo, and they wound up killing him off, where he said, hey man, the elites, their in-game goal and their in-game agenda is to what? To chip everybody, man. To have everybody chipped and to have everybody, how do I say, pretty much be controlled with this here microchip, man. And that's what they wound up doing, all right? And that's what they have a problem solution. They've created a scenario to where everybody would need these things, man, all right? This is the in-game result that they would have, all right? Since this is already being planned and implemented around the rest of the world, although it hasn't been yet announced, that's the only difference, all right? And that's the end of that there article. But hey, you know, we'll get back into some more of these scriptures. But this is their plan and this is their agenda, man. All right, we can measure the times diligently in itself and see all these things coming to pass, man. All right, this is what we've been out here to warn you people about, and warn Jake about all these different things. All right, so let's go back into this here. Let me go to this 2nd Ezra 9. 2nd Ezra 9 and 1. It says, matter of fact, let me read this first and then we'll go back. This is 2nd Ezra 16 and 17. It says, woe is me, who will deliver me in those days, the beginning of sorrows and great mourning. All right, and that's the times that we live in the beginning of sorrows and great mourning. Right now, it's a lot of people out here mourning for the sorrows at hand. You know, there's a lot of great death, a lot of poverty, a lot of famine, a lot of wars and things going on. This is what the people are mourning about right about now, man. We're not in a time of joy and people out here laughing and having a good time. We're in a time of mourning and lamentations and woes right now, man. It says, woe is me, who will deliver me in those days, the beginning of sorrows and great mourning, the beginning of famine and great death. And as we read that, their article was predicated off of what? Famines, man. Not the fact that, you know, I mean, yeah, you have food shortages, but then it was basically predicated off of what? Most of those people couldn't afford the food that was even available, man. All right, and you have the same thing that's going on right about now, man. Just like here in America, like I keep mentioning the gas situation. It ain't that we had a scarcity of gas. I mean, there's gas. You can find gas at all the gas stations. Ain't no lines of people lined up trying to get gas because, oh, we got to ration gas off. You know, here in Florida, we have this happen every once in a while whenever they give you a scare. Oh, there's a big hurricane coming. We need y'all to evacuate it, so on and so forth. Hey, gas will run out real quick just like that, man. You know, you'll have people lined up. They'll be, you know, filling up all their cars with gas, all their gas cans with gas, they boat with gas and everything else like that. Then all of a sudden, there's no more gas, right? We've seen those things happen before, all right? But right now, it's just the price of gas is going up. So what? People are... it's hard for them to be able to afford it. It's not that there's a scarcity of it, it's just that they can't afford it. But guess what? If they had a system, governmental system, a subsidized gas price, look, man, you get this digital voucher, you can get gas for $1.99. Man, that's probably all they would have to say right about now, man. And they already talking about gas prices hitting double digits, you know, $10 a gallon and things like that, man. You know, I've lived in a time where gas was $7 a gallon. I had to sell my car at that point in time, man. I had a Bubba Caprice, man. I used to like that car, man, but I had to get rid of it because I couldn't afford to drive that bad boy no more, man. It was costing me like damn near $100 a week to drive. I like, bruh, this is cutting into my damn paycheck right about now, and it's like I can't even afford to drive this bad boy no more. But hey, we coming back into these times again, man. But how much more when it's not just the gas prices, the food prices, the price of living, and the price of everything else is going up, man. All right, the quality of life is going down, but the price of living is going up. All right. It says the beginning of sorrows and mourning, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the power shall stand in fear, the beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come? Behold, famine and plague and tribulation and anguish are sent for scourges and amendment. And so, hey, this is what was sent for us, you know, to get right, to wake up and to hearken unto the signs that the Lord was giving us, man. All right, you got on the rise of the pandemic that's going on, you got the goddamn monkeypox that's popping off. All right, I don't know if y'all remember a couple months back, we had the train wreck, or it wasn't even a train wreck, it was not even a semi-truck wreck. It was like a regular pickup truck with a trailer on the back with some goddamn monkeys. They got into a car accident, and then the monkeys got loose, and then the monkeys started running loose, you know? They're like, oh, well, yeah, why the hell is this even a story in the news? Shit like this happens all the time. It don't ever make the news. Like, what the hell is this? Why is this shit in the news? You know what I'm saying? Now, all of a sudden, oh, you got the monkeypox on the rise nowadays, man. All these different things is going on and everything else like that. Oh, y'all got to worry about the monkeypox, man. All right, so all these plagues and pestilences going on the earth, man. People are already afraid and still scared, man. You ain't heard nothing about the other little global sicknesses going on in a while, and yet still you got people walking around and driving around in their cars by their damn self with a mask on and everything else like that, man. But yet and still, so hey, all they got, these are the people that you can already say that they already scared and on the edge. Like, look, man, all we got to do is tell them there's something else coming on, and they gonna walk right into our hands, man. And when we told them, hey, y'all got to go get this here jump shot, even though we ain't tested it, even though we can't sit here and guarantee it's going to help you, or even though we can't, you know, do this and do that for you, just take it. We don't know what it's going to do for you, but just take it anyway. And they ran up and jumped in line and was kicking their own relatives out the house if they didn't take it or not, man. So we know how these people are going to react in these days, man. All right? We see how these things are being set up for this MOTB, man. We see how all these systems are getting geared to what? Their so-called New World Order, man. All right? So let's go back to... Well, let me jump down a little bit. Jumping down to, well, let me just keep reading. Verse 19 again. Behold, famines and plagues and tribulation and anguish. All right, so hey, famines, you know, the rise and the cost of living out here, man. All right, like I said, the housing market is about to burst. All right, your rent prices going up, unemployment is skyrocketing. All right, the price of food is skyrocketing, the price of gas is skyrocketing, man. People is at their very ends of all these different things, man. They not shopping like they shopping no more, man. Hey, man, now is the best time to go to the grocery store and stand in them damn lines. Them lines ain't all as long no more, man. You ever notice that now? You go in the grocery store, you don't have people with 2 and 3 cart full of things, or long ass lines in the grocery store nowadays, man. Damn near everybody's in the 10 items or less line because that's all they can afford is 10 items or less, man. And that shit is breaking the damn bank. All right. It says, behold, famines and plagues. All right, again, with these illnesses, the monkeypox and all these different things, tribulation and anguish, all right? All these people are in dire straits, man. Are sent as scourges for an amendment, but for all these things they should not turn from their wickedness, nor always be mindful of the scourges. And yeah, this is a time now where wickedness is turning up more and more and more and more and more, man. Instead of people repenting and turning back and turning from their wicked ways, what are they doing? They doubling down, becoming more and more wicked, man. All right, you know, at a time and a place where... let's just say, for instance, right, 2017, 2018, right, you know, you had wicked-ass people out here doing wicked-ass shit, man, going all off. But guess what happened? What was it, 2019? The Lord brought the pandemic around, all right, as a scourge or an amendment to turn from your wickedness, right? But what started skyrocketing in that point in time, man? OnlyFans, online scammers, and things like that. Like, instead of repenting, you see the whole globe is shutting the fuck down. Everybody so-called getting sick and dying and everything else like that. Instead of repenting and seeking out the Lord, what did a lot of these women do? They started becoming prostitutes and harlots on the internet, man. They started selling their body on the internet and things like that. And then these scammers started scamming even more and more, man. I'm like, y'all niggas ain't gonna learn from none of this shit, man. But yet still, hey, wickedness started increasing on the earth more and more. So as they double down, guess what? The Lord gonna double down on these people, man. All the way into the end. This is how it's gonna go all the way to the end, man. They're gonna keep continuing on in their wickedness. The Lord gonna keep continuing on with the judgment and all these different things. So hey, at the end all be all, man, the Lord is gonna have to wipe you people out because of why? Let me go ahead and grab that real quick. This is Genesis chapter 6 and 5. It says, and Yahweh saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. So, hey, man, you know, we're at a time now where everybody's thoughts is only evil continually. All they want to do is be wicked and more wicked and more wicked, man. They just trying to top the more and more wickedness, man. You see a lot of these guys out here trying to figure out, you know, what kind of scam that they can pull now, what kind of wickedness, how they can set the next person up, what kind of lick they can do, what kind of this and that they can do. And they even got these so-called TikTok challenges, man. How much more wicked can we be than the last shit, man? You know, they don't call it that, but that's pretty much what they doing, man. Like, oh, y'all thought that was bad. Shit, wait till you see this. Wait till you see that. Wait till you see what we doing next, man. It's basically a competition of wickedness out here, man. All right, now they seeing, you know, before you had these these women that was doing just the makeup and deceiving men and everything else like that, wearing these little body shapers and things like that. Now they're getting all body modifications out here, man. All right, all kind of shit. Just wickedness is on a whole nother level out here, man. All right, and hey, let me let me read this first and we'll go over to that. Genesis 6 and 11, it says, the earth was also corrupt before the Most High, and the earth was filled with violence. And the Most High looked upon the earth, and behold, it was corrupt, for all flesh had corrupted his ways upon the earth. And so, hey, man, all ways have corrupted his way upon the earth, man. And that's where we at right about now, man. Because, look, they just want to keep going more and more in their violence. They don't want to turn away. You know, like we was reading, we'll get back to it, that these things came for scourges and for amendment. The scourges came for their amendments, for them to turn from their wickedness. But what did they do? They doubled down on their wickedness, man. They continued on in their wickedness, man. They continued on being wicked out here and doing, how they say, waxing worse and worse and worse, man. They didn't get better. They didn't repent from their wickedness. No, they just continued on in their wickedness, man. And if anything, they doubled down on it, man. They did more and more. They did more and more evil before the sight of the Lord, man. This is what the people out here doing, man. They're not calling for repentance. They're not calling for salvation, man. They're calling to be more and more wicked. They're calling for more and more freedoms to do more and more wickedness, man. All right. Here it is. Matthew chapter 24 and verse 21. It says, for then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world, to this time no nor ever shall be. And as we continue on, this is what you have going on is people are waxing worse and worse. All right, every day is getting worse and worse down as we go along. All right, more and more people are doing more and more wicked things. All right, it's like this year is worse than last year, man. All right, you can go back and you can, you know, depending on how old you are, you can be like, look, man, life wasn't like this back in the 90s, man. All this here wickedness, we wouldn't have thought about doing none of this shit like this, man. You know what I'm saying? How, hey, back in the days from, you know, myself, right, what the girls would do. Back in my days, what the girls would do is they would, like, you know, young girls, obviously when I was younger, they would sneak out the house. They'd be wearing one outfit, right? Sneak out the house. We used to party at the skating rink and shit like that. Sneak out the house, go to the skating rink, and change their clothes at the skating rink, and then put on their little horse outfits. Which, looking back now, wasn't even no horse outfits comparably to what they got going on nowadays. But nowadays, look, the young girls is in the goddamn mall picking out the horse outfits with their mama. Mama, how I look. You know what I'm saying? Hey, they had I seen this video. I didn't even watch the video, but it was like this woman, all right, was trying to get her daughter to dress all horse going to prom, man. Got a dress on, all slit down the middle like this, titties all hanging out and everything else like that, going to prom. This is in high school, man. So I bring out the example, man. Hey, and they waxing worse and worse and worse, man. Like I said, back in my days, when I was, you know, young like that, these girls, they would sneak out with like a certain outfit on, sneak out to their homegirl's house or spend the night at their girlfriend's house and have one outfit on and put on another outfit once they got to where they going. Nowadays, again, they going out shopping with their mamas. They go buy these horse outfits, man. Nowadays, you see these little bitty girls that's in elementary school wearing the goddamn spandex and everything else like that, man. I didn't even see little girls in basically diapers wearing this shit, man. Wearing makeup at these young ages and things like that, man. Having social media sites and everything else like that, man. Hey, these things should be reserved to really, I was gonna say social media sites should be reserved to adults, but really adults should be off of that by a certain time. But for these high schoolers or whatever, but really they don't even need all that wickedness, man, because all they're doing is pushing and promoting wickedness, man. But as you know, the point I'm trying to make is as we go on further along, things is getting worse and worse and worse, man. More and more violence and wickedness is taking place. All right, continuing on, it says Matthew 24:22, except those days should be shortened, there shall be no flesh saved, but for your elect's sake, those days should be shortened. So, hey, man, you know, if we continue on down this here path, man, none of us would survive, man. All these things are coming to pass, man. You see famines, economic downturns. You see you see famines, economic downturns, economic collapses coming on the face of the earth. The minds of the people being corrupted, man. Wars and rumors of wars. You see them setting up the MOTB. So we know that we're at the end of this here thing, man. All right, let me finish this off, and we're going to read that over there. Because speaking about measuring the time. Finishes this off in 2nd Ezra 16. And let me go back to verse 21. It says, oh no, we was up at 19. Let me go back up to 19. 2nd Ezra 16 and 19, it says, behold, famines and plagues and tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for an amendment. But for all these things they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor always be mindful of the scourges. So, hey, man, like I said, at the beginning of the pandemic, things was all bad. And then they had that hush-hush moment where everybody had to sit at home and reflect on the things that they was doing. But in their silence, while they was sitting at home reflecting on what the hell they would be doing, what did they want to doing? Girl, let me go get an OnlyFans page. Hey, nigga, let me figure out how to scam these niggas out of these Bitcoins and all this and that, man. So, hey, man, this is the times that we living in right about now where everybody's doing more and more wickedness, man. Instead of coming to repentance, they waxing worse and worse, man. So, hey, like the scripture say, if this time wouldn't be shortened, there would be no flesh saved, man, because all they're going to keep doing is just doubling down on their wickedness, man. Until what? Until everything has to come to a collapse to where the Lord has to just come in and wipe this here slate clean, man. All right? It says, but for all these things they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor always be mindful of the scourges. So, hey, they're not mindful. They're not aware of these things, man. They're not aware that they just digging themselves further into the hole, man. It's like a person that's got a credit card to max it out, not making no payments back on there, and they're like, man, my credit card keep getting declined. They call the credit people, and instead of trying to pay the damn bill, what do? Hey, can y'all extend my credit limit? Yeah, we can extend your credit limit. Now they extend your credit limit, you back out there spending. They don't stop spending. They don't start making payments. They just spend even more money, just make it worse on themselves, man. This is the type of time that we in right about now. And hey, just like in that credit card scenario, if the time wouldn't be cut short, if they don't go ahead and cut off your credit card, all right, that $500 worth of debt gonna turn to $500,000 worth of debt, man. You're gonna be in a lifetime full of debt. You ain't gonna never be able to pay it off, man. All right, and that's what we have going on in this here earth right about now, man. It says, behold, victors shall be so good cheap upon the earth that they shall think themselves in a good case. Even then shall evils grow upon the earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. And that's where we at right about now as well, too. Well, we're a little bit past that, but because you had a time frame where, you know, you had victors being so good cheap. You know, I mentioned a little earlier about how under Trump, you know, he was getting these stimulus packages and things like that to where people was out here living their best life, their good life. You know, oh, it's a pandemic, but look, we getting these stimulus packages. We ain't got to work. We getting stimulus packages. We ain't got to pay rent right now. You know, we getting the stimmies, the PPP loans, and everything else like that. Jake was out there so-called balling and everything else like that. But guess what? Now, hey, y'all got to start paying rent again. And not only that, rent's going up because y'all ain't paid rent in a while. So the cost of living is going up. You still ain't got no job. You ain't getting no more stimulus packages. They going overseas and everything else like that. Now you're like, man, we can't eat. We can't survive. We can't do this. We can't do that. You got wars popping off. All right, all these different things are happening. And guess what? Let me read that again. It says, 2nd Ezra 16 and 21. Behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon the earth that they shall think themselves to be in a good case, and even then shall evils grow upon the earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. So, hey, now people was thinking like, man, we was just in a good spot. We was just good financially and everything else like that. Hey, they telling us, you know, we ain't got to pay rent because of the moratoriums and things like that. and we getting these stimulus packages, we getting these PPP loans, we thinking everything is good. Now all of a sudden they can't afford groceries. How come, you know what I'm saying, this is being stopped over here, but then this over here is affecting us, and we can't afford this and we can't afford that? How come all these things are happening? And the people are trying to figure out, you know, all these different things, but hey, this is all being planned, this is all an agenda being forced down upon your throat, man, to bring you into the time of what? The mark of the beast, man, for you to be able to accept these things, man. Just like in Iran, we just read about that. That's an organized situation. In that article, they said, hey, this is a global plan that's being implemented, man. All right? Continuing on. Verse 22, 2 Ezra 16 and 22, it says, for many of them that dwell upon the earth shall perish of famine. All right? And, hey, that's what you have going on right about now. You know, you got that baby food shortage, and not just, you know, oh, people starving to death, but hey, like I said about Kensington and Philadelphia, a lot of these people are becoming homeless. The working middle class is becoming homeless and things like that. Hey man, it's just the fact, not that they can't get food, or not that there is no food, all right, but the fact of the matter, they can't afford food, man. The cost of you know, their so-called livability is going down the drain, man. All right, people aren't able to afford a lot of these things, man. And what's gonna happen? You know, when people can't afford certain things, you have the rise of crime, man. All right, people running up in people's houses and committing all these different crimes, man. Because look, you know, in all these high crime areas and things like that, what is the one thing that's lacking in those areas, man? A lack of resources and a lack of being able to get those resources, man. In all these so-called high crime areas, that's the number one thing that they all have in common, man, is a lack of resources. Hey, man, we ain't got no jobs over here. We can't make no money over here, and so on and so forth. So guess what? Hey, all we know how to do is gangbang and things like that, man. All right, you look over into these little areas where all the, you know, Chirac and everything else like that, man. Hey, they ain't got no good-ass jobs over there. That's why them people out there doing what they doing, man. Hey, we'd rather just be spending the block airing it out on each other instead of going to work, man. All right, let they start opening up a plant or something over there where they paying $35 an hour. I guarantee you all the violence will stop, because niggas will be too busy going to work. Like, look, nigga, I would air your ass out right now, but I'm about to go to work and go get this shit $35 an hour and make this shit overtime, making like $50-something an hour. Fuck y'all, nigga. I'm about to come up real quick, get the bag over here, man. All right, hey, this is why in a lot of these hoods, a lot of these guys be out here selling drugs and rapping, trying to make some money so they can get up out of the hood. You know, you hear Jake Thompson shit. The mission is to get out the hood, get up out these conditions. All right, so we can make something of ourselves. But hey, guess what? All this is coming to a neighborhood near you, man, because middle America and these middle class people, these things are coming upon you right about now, man. All right, this is not just in Jake's neighborhood, because Jake already used to being broke out here, man. All right, this is coming to your suburbs and things like that, man. Your regular grocery stores and these supermarkets and things like that. Now these people are starting to feel the economic woes and things like that, man. Now these people are starting to feel the how you say, the economic downturn. See what it feel like to be broke out here in middle America, man. All right, so let's read it again. 2 Ezra 16 and 22, it says, for many of them that dwell upon the earth shall perish of famine, and the other that shall escape the hunger shall the sword destroy. All right, and so, hey, let me read this other precept, because look, you know, you may survive the famine, but guess what? You may not survive the sword, because people are going to come after you looking for that food, man. All right. Let me start over here. 2 Ezra 15 and 14. All right. It says, woe unto the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. All right. So, hey, man, here in America, you got different things going on. They got more guns in America than what's going on, man? They got more guns in America than they got civilians, man. And when there's a global collapse of food and shortages and things like that, man, people gonna go out on a survival rate, a shooting spree and things like that, man. People gonna be going out here trying to get their food and, you know, do whatever they gotta do to be able to survive, man. It's like the movies The Purge. What was that other movie? I think your boy was it Matt Damon? One of them boys was in this movie where some shit was popping off in his neighbors. Like, he was looking out the window, he heard some gunshots popping off at his neighbor's house. He just turned off the lights and shit, and the next day he started going through they shit, man. All right, you know, there was a lot of different movies that show forth a lot of these different things where, hey, man, when things like that happen, you see people going through each other's homes and stuff like that, man. Looking for what? Resources, man. At this point in time, man, the law gonna be going out the window, man. They're not gonna be looking about, hey, man, this is illegal and this and that. Hey, man, you may not see your neighbors for a couple days and everything else like that, and you running out of food. Guess what? You gonna come to your mind? Hey, man, I ain't seen them in 2 or 3 days, bro. I'm about to just break up in their house. I mean, I ain't seen them, so, I mean, it ain't gonna be really like I'm breaking in their house. They might be dead already, so I'm gonna just go try to grab the rest of their food that they got, you know what I'm saying, because I gotta eat. This is what's about to be happening, man. All right, one people gonna stand up against another people with swords in their hands, man. And you already got a heavily divided America right now over all kind of different things, man. All right, you got everybody at each other's throat. Hey, man, you just had, which, you know, I probably won't get to it in today's camp lesson. You know, I want to speak on that a little bit about the mass shooting that took place last weekend. But hey, man, hey, you still see the situation that's going on, man. Again, I'm not gonna talk too much about that right now because I've been went on about that. But hey, the Lord's will, we'll get to it. But hey, you see how they opening up, you know, on you Jakes out here, man. All right, you know, but Jake gonna wind up doing this to their own self, man. For what? The lack of resources, man. The lack of bread, man. All right, you know, all these different things start falling apart, man. None of these things matter when you looking for food, man. Survival of the fittest, man. All right, it's just like musical chairs, man. You maybe, you know, when it's a big ass circle and everybody got chairs and everything else like that, you may have your little friends and everything else like that. You done ganged up with some people while y'all playing musical chairs. Hey, but when it get down to one chair, man, you ain't looking for who's your friend, who's your partner, and you looking for that last chair so you can win, man. All right, that's what it's gonna be like out here, man. People gonna be looking to satisfy themselves and their families, man. They're gonna be looking to be able to feed their own kids, man. So they're not gonna be worried about, you know, what you got. You know, you see in the movie The Book of Eli. All right, they out there, how I say, looking for food and everything else like that, setting people up, using these women for traps and trying to lure people in and everything else like that. And then guess what? They say, hey, you know, they're gonna have all kind of weaponry, not just guns, because hey, eventually, hey man, you're gonna be running out of bullets and things like that. They said in that movie, they say, hey man, oh look, he's got a gun. Bet you ain't no bullets in him. And not too many people got bullets nowadays anyway. They done ran out of bullets, man. In the first couple months, there's gonna be a lot of people getting mowed down with these guns and these bullets. But hey man, you ain't got enough bullets, man. All right, you have to spend your whole lifetime on goddamn bullets, man. And I heard bullet prices is going up. You had the government spent bought like, you know, one round they bought like 1.2 billion rounds, and they bought another billion rounds, man. All right, so hey man, you know, it's about to get ugly out there, man. Martial law troops finna be going down, mowing these people down, man. All right, you know, because why? There's gonna be people overrunning the supermarkets. All right, people overrunning each other's, the neighbors' houses and everything else like that. All out chaos, all out war in the streets, man. All right, straight up chaos, man. You think that January 6th situation happened was bad, man? Let another election. That's what I say, man. I was having this conversation too the other day. Like, look, man, you know, we don't need no more elections. We don't need no more presidencies and none of this shit going on right now, man. Because look, man, you seen what happened last time, right? Now, these niggas who done voted for Biden and shit, once the smoke cleared and everything, they go back up there, man. These people, they might start popping off at each other right about now, man. We need to take a break from presidents, man. We need to just have a so-called a single moment for a minute, man. Because this year shit could just make everything pop off, man. People have already lost all, you know, pretty much all that they got, and these people are, hey, at the fear of them losing every damn thing, they was ready to go storm the Capitol building. So now that they done lost every damn thing up under this nigga, what do you think these Edomites is ready to do right about now, man? All right, they like, nah, man, not over my cold, what they say, my cold, dead, red body. And they gonna fight it out to the end, man. All right, they gonna rise up, one people gonna fight against another with swords in their hands, man. Weaponry, man. Militias and all these different things, man. All right, let's continue on. 2nd Ezra 15 and, let's read 14 again. Woe unto the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hand. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another, and they shall not regard their kings nor princes. It says, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. So, hey, again, they're not going to be regarding what the law says. Hey, man, we know we shouldn't be robbing and stealing and breaking into people's houses, but the hell with all that, man. The grocery store is out of food. Ain't no more power, ain't no more electricity. You know what I'm saying? I ain't ate in some days. I ain't seen my neighbor in some days. This nigga normally out here walking his dog every damn day, and I ain't seen him. I ain't seen no lights on in his house for like 2 weeks. I'm over here starving. I done ate up all my food. Man, I'm about to go break in this nigga's house. Man, what they gonna do, call 911? They ain't got no electricity to call 911. And second of all, 911 not even coming around this bitch anyway. They over there trying to find some food for them. So guess what? I'm about to go up in this nigga's house and go take what I gotta go and get. Now, if he in his house trying to hold down the fort and protect his house with his sword, I gotta make sure I got my sword when I roll up in this nigga's house, man. So this is what we coming into, the times we coming into, man. Where they call, they've been getting you people ready for the Purge with all kind of different things from the movies, The Purge. What's that other shit called? Fortnite, all right? Fortnite and Call of Duty, the Battle Royale, man. All right, think about the mindset of that, man. It's got groups and teams, battle to the last man standing. Got what they call little loot spots or whatever they call it. We got to go loot you kill the people, you take their little loot and everything else like that, man. What do you think they predictively programming these people for, man? Just like in the movie The Purge, where they had those people wearing those masks and everything else like that, man. And these little video games they got, Hey, people create their own little funky looking characters with their little mask on and everything else like that, man. People gonna be out here like it's a goddamn video game, man. You see them already out here in the streets with the gang banging and shit. It's like Grand Theft Auto out in the open, man. You got people having all-out shootouts in the stores, in the cars, rolling down the street, shooting at people like they playing a goddamn video game. So, hey, with all this predictive programming, it ain't gonna be nothing new for these people out here to just be laying waste the people at the edge of the sword, not regarding the kings or the princes, man, not regarding what the law says, man. They be like, hey, man, we gotta get it how we live, man. I seen this dude the other day on not on Facebook. He was live streaming on Facebook, but this video of this guy basically was like shooting dice with some other niggas, and he was like basically the other dudes try to, somebody put a hit on him or whatever, and they try to kill him or whatever. This is what he said, and he wound up killing the dudes. Well, he shot one dude, he thought he was dead, and he shot the other dude who he actually killed him. And he over here going on a little live Facebook rant, talking some, yeah, fuck nigga, blah, 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 y'all gonna need more than this and that to help me out. And it sounded like some shit from a movie, man. I'm like, damn, this sound like nigga watching too many movies and shit like that. But the average person, if some shit like that would have happened to them, they would have been, you know, shell-shocked. But guess what? We in a time where people are desensitized to these things, man. To whereas now they acting this like the real life scenarios is acting out like a goddamn movie. Yeah, this fuck nigga stretched out right here. Y'all gonna need more than this. Y'all gonna need more than that. I'm like, damn, am I watching a goddamn movie or a nigga that's over here, you know, live streaming this shit, man? But yet and still, like I said, man, people are being desensitized to these things from the movies that they watching, the video games that they playing, all right, these different scenarios they have going on, all right? They all being desensitized to these things, so now it's just what a so-called normal occurrence to them, man. Now all these things are just like, oh, it is what it is, man. Hey, this is regular life, man. We got to get it like up out the mud, man. You see what's going on over there in Chirac, how they just killing each other. It's an open war zone and things like that, man. And this is the normal thing that's going on nowadays, man, all right? You see these young boys out there talking something, hey man, don't come to our hood. If you ain't from our hood, this and that, the gangbangers in their territories, we'll air it out, this and that. And they doing this for so-called rep in their neighborhoods and everything else like that, man. They doing this for so-called clout and to be the so-called big man on the block and everything else like that, man. Imagine when they doing this for food, man. All right, because the shit that they over gangbanging over right now is just for their neighborhood and the name of their neighborhood that they don't even own. So how much more when it comes to pass when they fighting over food, man? All right, let's continue on. It says, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able, for because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, and the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. Give me 1 second. It says, for because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, and the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. For, hey, and again, you know, you have, you know, certain areas, and hey, again, think about it like this, man. You know, they have certain areas and certain gang, like you see out there in like Chicago, California, and certain hoods and stuff. They tell you, hey man, don't go over the old block, man. They out there, they airing it out over there. Y'all don't want to go over there. They got all kind of shit going on over there. Don't go out here and just hear blood or Crip gang territory and things. And they get busy out there, man. But imagine when that's like everywhere else, man. All right, or everywhere else is like that, man, because of scarcity of food and everything else like that, man. Hey man. You know, the new so-called hot spots to go to is going to be the grocery store, man. Don't go out there to the grocery store, man. They out there killing each other for some food out there, man. You know, you may have some gangs, instead of trying to rob and steal all the food out the grocery store, they're going to be like, you know what? We're going to barricade ourselves up in the grocery store. Anybody come to this bitch, we're going to air it out on their ass, man. All right, all for what? For the resources that's left over in that bad boy, man. All right, you know, and again, this is pushing forth, this here mindset is pushing forth for operations of what? The MOTB, man. The mark of the beast, man. Because like as we read in that article about the Iran situation, they're like, hey man, it's scarcity of food, and before things get out of hand, we don't want these things to turn into this. So guess what? We have governmental subsidies to stop these things from happening, from prolonging these things from coming to pass right around the corner, man. So guess what? We gotta basically just you know, do something to slow these things down, man. Do something to cause these things to, how do I say, from you know, not playing out, because we know what the consequences are, man. If there's no food, there's gonna be a battle royale over this here food. Like a nice ass skyline right there. But hey man, it's gonna be a, you know, people fighting over the lack of resources, man. These little they fighting over the last little bit of resources that they got, you know. Continuing on, it says, for because of their pride the city shall be troubled, and houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. All right, because of their pride, man. All right, these people, hey, things is gonna be like that. Hey man, fuck that, I'm about to go over there and go get this. Hey man, again, at a time like this, you see it in these movies when these scarce times come upon the earth, man. 911, the police, man, they regular human beings too, man. You know, when they get off work, they take off that uniform and things like that. They go home. Guess what? They got a family just like how you got a family, man. They got a wife and they got kids that they got to provide for. They got to be able to feed them too. So they going to get hungry just like you going to get hungry, man. All right? And so guess what you think they going to wind up doing, man? Hey, man, we got to go over here and goddamn eat, man. You know, and people, certain people going to be banding together and things like that. But guess what? They human just like you. They going to have the same mindsets that you got, man. You know what? Shit, I know where, you know, the food distribution depot is at. Let's go over there and go grab us some food. We'll go over there with the police cars. They'll think it's the cops. We're going to go secure them. We'll just, you know, shoot them down or whatever. And then, hey, what they going to do? Call the police? We'll hear it on the radio. You know what I'm saying? We're going to go take the food. I got to feed my son. I got to go feed my daughter, man. I got to go get this here baby formula. I got to go get this baby food, man. So, hey, man, in times like this, man, they're not going to be regarding all the regular laws and the things that's going on, man. They're not going to be paying these things too much attention, man. Even these people that's supposed to be enforcing the laws is going to be sitting over here breaking the laws, man. It says, verse 19, 2nd Ezra 15 and 19, it says, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. All right, so, hey, again, you know, your friends, all right, going to become your enemies in those days, man. All right, and you know, in these times like now, we in a big flex moment, major flex moment where, you know, a lot of these people like to flex with the money, showing off what they got and how lavish that they live in, the type of life that they living in. You know, I remember when the pandemic started and there was that toilet paper shortage. That was what a lot of people was doing. They was showing forth their pantry. Look at all the toilet paper I got, man. People buying up carts and carts and carts of toilet paper. The whole trunk full of toilet paper, man. Posting up on the internet, man. That's just for toilet paper. You can't eat the damn toilet paper, man. All right, you could have went without the damn toilet paper, but how much more when it's coming time for a shortage of food, man? And people, what do you think in the beginning of all these things? What do you think people are gonna be doing? They're gonna be sitting over here posting up on the internet, on their Facebooks and social media sites, their little pantries with all the food and everything else like that. But what do you think that's gonna wind up being? It's gonna be a target onto their back, man. All these people with all these followers and everything else like that, they're gonna wind up showing forth. It's like, look, man, we know these people. We know who they are. We know what they got. And we know where they at, man. We're gonna go over there and go take their food and everything else like that, man. Because it's gonna be what? A lack of bread, man. So this is gonna just draw all these enemies into your household, man. And same with a lot of these women with these Instagram models and OnlyFans models keep showing up forth all these little scandalous pictures and everything else like that, man, on the internet. All right, and showing how they living, man. You know, they do these things to brag and boast about their lifestyles and things, but on the other end of that, what, it's making a lot certain people jealous, man. You know, for you men out there seeing some of these guys out here living certain lifestyles with the money phones, the money stacks, and these big body cars and everything else like that. What in the back of your mind, man, I wish I was living like that. Man, I wish I had that. Man, I wish I was decked out like that. Man, I wish I was blinged out like that. Or you see these women on there, man, I wish I could get with a chick like that, and so on and so forth, man. Hey, man, when these when the laws go out the window and things like that, guess what? Guess who's gonna be holding you back from going to go do whatever you want to go do to these people, man? Take whatever you want to go and take from these people, man. Nobody gonna be holding you back. So guess what? You're gonna be able to go do whatever you want to go and do, man. All right. So it says, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of a lack of bread and for great tribulation. So, hey, for the lack of bread and great tribulation, for the lack of these resources, guess what's gonna happen, man? All right, you're gonna have what? They have the purge, man. People are gonna be spoiling everybody's goods and everything else like that, man. They're gonna just be running up into your house, taking whatever they want, man. They're gonna be like, call the police, man. The police, hey, what you gonna do? Call 911? Somebody trying to break into my house and steal all my money. They trying to steal all my food. They trying to break into my pantry and steal all my food. The police be like, all right, what's your location? Where you at? Police might pull up, turn on the siren, scare away the bad guys, knock on your door to see that you all right. Anybody else here in the house with you? No, it's just me and my little girl and this and that. All right, I'm gonna need y'all to put these handcuffs on, get down, lay down. I'm taking y'all shit now, man. This is what it's gonna be like out here, man. There's gonna be no. It says, friends gonna be at each other's throats. You know, the neighbors gonna be at each other's throats. Brothers gonna be at each other's throats. They're their own household gonna be your enemies and things like that. So nobody's gonna be friends out here, man. All right, it's gonna be a dog eat dog world, man. You see how people already are nowadays in the times that we living in now, where you don't have no real friends. You don't have no real. Yeah, hey, the video I was just telling you about was dude said he killed his own best friend because somebody else paid them like $20,000 as a hit, man. So two dudes got paid $10,000 a piece to go kill their own best friend over $10,000, man. And again, we're not in a time where that money was like you in scarcity time or whatever, man. So how much more for the last loaf of bread, man? Hey, man, I heard these niggas down the block, they got some food. You know, they got a walk-in freezer. They got this and that. Hey, man, we got to go get them, man. We got to go stick them up for their food, man. All right, so, hey, man, this is the conditions that's being formed upon the earth, man, to put you in that problem, reaction, solution, that squeeze, man. Hey, either take the chip so you can either buy or sell so you can be able to eat, so you can get this here discounted price, so you can get some digital credits, so you can get all these things. Hey man, look at all these different systems, from the stock market, the crypto markets, all right, your regular job markets and everything else like that, unemployment, all these things, all these systems are collapsing, man. And your, how you say, your so-called income is going down, but the cost of living and everything else is going up. So what you definitely ain't gonna be able to afford anything in these times. And guess what? Just like the article we read, hey, people gonna be willingly wanting to accept these here systems for what? So that they can flourish and go along, man. So they can keep eating, man. So they can go feed their kids, man. Right now, you see with the baby food shortage, what people are willing to do: drive 2 and 3 hours to go find some baby food and things like that. Even if they, they can't find it or whatever. Hey, man, we gotta drive 2 hours on the other side of town just to go get this here food, man. So how much more when they gotta go feed their whole family, man? They willing to drive all the way across town to go rob somebody else for these things, man. This is what life is gonna turn into. Is gonna be a full-on hunt for food, man. All right. Let me read this real quick. This is we had read about this a little bit earlier, about these different things that's coming to pass. All right. 2 Ezra 9:1 says, he answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs past, which I told thee before, then thou shalt understand this the very same time when the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. All right. So hey, measuring the times diligently. How can we measure the times diligently? And what's going on, my man? How can we measure the times diligently in itself, man? Based off of the signs that the Lord gave us, man. Again, Matthew 24 gave us a whole line of signs and events that we should be able to measure and to look at, man. And look, we're living in the times now where all these things are speaking loud and clear for themselves. In fact, let me go ahead and grab that in the book of Habakkuk real quick, because look, man, this is Habakkuk chapter 2 verse 1. All right, because this came out a little bit earlier, but let's go a little further into it. It says, I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower, and will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what I shall answer when I am reproved. It says, and the Lord answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. All right, so hey, like I was saying about those videos that people were sending me in that time, as far as, look, hey man, this is what's going on, this is what's popping off. Hey, now, speaking of the mark of the beast and how they gonna make all causes all both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond to receive this marks, so that you may be able to buy or sell. Hey, now you see that we're in a time now where, like, because beforehand people say, I got my own money, I got this, I got that. I ain't gonna never be in straits like that. I make good money, I got a good job. Hey, but now you see how things is played out, man. All right, a lot of these people have been let go of their jobs. A lot of businesses shut down. Cost of everything is good. Hell, even if you do got a job, you might have the same job that you had beforehand. All right, but now look, the cost of your rent is going up. All right, your gas price is going up, your grocery price is going up. So now you start to see that you're in a financial strait right about now, man. Most Americans are in financial straits, but a couple years ago they was all bragging how they was living a good life, spending thousands and thousands of dollars a month on Amazon, on just some bullshit. All right, because victuals was so good, cheap upon the earth. They have shit. I'm over here just buying some BS on Amazon now, or buying fruit roll-ups and all kind of snacks and all kind of goods, 2 carts full of groceries and things. Now everybody in the 10 items or less in the grocery store right now because they can't afford that shit, man. So now these things are coming upon them, man, when they least expected them, man. Coming upon them as a thief in the night. How did we get here, man? Great confusion is growing upon the earth, man. All right, because they thought that they was in a good case, but now look at what happened, man. All right, but continuing on, it says, and Yahweh answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. It says, for the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. All right, so hey, the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it's going to speak. Right now it's speaking loud and clear, man. Right now, like I said, beforehand, people thought that they wasn't going to be in dire straits. They didn't think they was going to be in economic woes. They didn't think they would need a mark of the beast and how they was going to call it. Hey, I remember telling people about causes all both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond to receive this mark. Hey, not me. I got a good job. I make X amount of dollars a year. I got this and that. I got this stored up. I got all the food I need. I got my own garden. And now look at things, man. You may have had your own garden growing your own food, but guess what? Right now it's heat waves and shit going on all over the place to where your goddamn food and crops and things like that wind up, in some places not getting enough water. All right, some other places, hell, it's still cold in some places right about now. But in some places, it's hot. This weekend is hot as hell, predominantly all over the U.S. But, last weekend in some places it was 50 degrees up north, man. All right, but, the how they call it, climate change and things like that could disrupt the flow or the growth of your crops, man. So you go, I got my own shit that I'm growing, and this is now I don't need to go to store. All right, well shit, now look at the weather and so-called fucked up your crops and everything else like that. Oh, I got money. Well, the price of everything else is going up, so it's depleting your money a lot faster than what you thought it was gonna be, man. So now what? You in straits, man. Nobody is exempt, save the elect, from these economic woes, or not just economic woes, all these real nobody's exempt from these judgments that's coming down from on high. Because that's the point. They coming down from on high. Nice ass Ferrari. But nevertheless, it says Habakkuk chapter 2 verse 3. It says, for the vision is yet for an appointed time. All right, and this is the time that was appointed, man. These are the times, like we read earlier, about blessed are your eyes to see the things that you see. All right, you know, for many men have a desire to see the things that you see and have not seen them. All right, this is the appointed time that the Lord has spoke about. This was going to be the time where these things was going to all start taking place. This was going to be the time where these signs, you know, will start manifesting themselves. These was going to be the times where you was going to be living in these, the final moments, man. These last days, man. All right, people like to say, oh, that's, you know, we ain't living in those times. We living in good times, or those times are going to be far off. It's not going to be in my generation. It's going to be in my great-great-great-grandkids' generations. Not in my lifetime, but lo and behold, look what happened, man. Lo and behold, look where we at right about now, man. Lo and behold, look, you know, like I said, the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it's going to speak. Hey, now we ain't even got to sit here and prophesy and tell you about these things. Nowadays, you just go to the grocery store and everything else. You see these things happening, man. You feel these economic woes. You see these things taking place, man. All right, we don't have to sit here and try to force you to believe these things. Oh, I don't believe this is going to happen, this and that. Hey, man, if you don't believe these things is going to happen, your ass is just in cognitive dissonance, man. All right, you ain't been to the grocery store lately, man. You ain't been to the gas pump lately, man. You ain't checked your finances lately, man. All right, something is wrong with your ass, man. All right. It says, for the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. All right. Now let me bring this here out as well, because hey, man, this is the time that the Lord has spoke about, man. These are the times where let me bring this out one more time before I grab that. These are the times that we should be looking forward to, man. These are the times that the signs of the Lord's coming and things like that. These are the times that we should be now's a high time to arise and awake out of sleep, man. All right, for our salvation is nearer than what we believe. All right, these are the times where let me read it real quick. Matter of fact, let me read both of these and then we'll jump down. I'm gonna read a lot of that actually. Let me read this first. Matthew 24, 21 and 22. It says, for then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no nor ever shall be. And except those days should be shortened, there should be no flesh saved, but for the elect's sake those days should be shortened. So look, this is gonna be a time like never before, man. And you can't so-called plan for this. You can't so-called have a way to get up out of these things, man. So, hey, the only way you can plan for these things is plan on trusting in the Lord, man. That's the only plan that you got, man. All right, that's the only thing that you can do. That's your plan A, plan B, plan C, and a contingency plan to plan on top of that, man. Anything else beyond that, you're not gonna be able to save yourself, because again, like I just stated, this is coming from on high, man. This ain't, obviously man is playing these things out, but hey, this is ultimately being orchestrated by the Most High, man. All right, the Most High. Let me read it, because I'd be done messed it up. This is Proverbs 21:1. It says, the king's heart is in the hand of the Lord, as the rivers of water. He turneth it whithersoever he will. So yeah, you may say, oh man, it's orchestrating. This is being orchestrated by the government and things like that. Yeah, it is. But who's controlling the minds of these kings, man? It's the Most High. For what? To bring an end to these things, man. All right. So it says, jumping down to Matthew 24:32. It says, now learn the parable of the fig tree when its branch is yet tender, and putteth forth leaves. Ye know that summer is nigh. So likewise, when you shall see all these things, know that it is near, even at the door. All right, so hey, looking at these signs and being able to measure these times diligently, we know that this is the time that the Most High spake about, man. We know that these are the things that he told us from beforehand that, matter of fact, let's just read that real quick and then we'll come back to that. All right, 2nd Ezra 9:1. It says, well, we'll come back to, let me finish this first, because it's going to go into a precept about, the signs. All right, going back, Matthew 24 and 32. Now learn the parable of the fig tree when its branch is yet tender and putteth forth leaves. You know that summer is nigh. So likewise, when you shall see all these things, know that it is near, even at the door. verily I say unto you, this generation shall not pass till all these things be fulfilled. And hey, that's the generation that we living in right now, man. All these things is coming faster and faster and faster. But what? Some people say, no, it's not gonna happen in my lifetime. It's gonna happen in my parents' or my children's lifetimes. But no, it's happening right here in your lifetime, man. These are the things that's taking place right here and right now. You living through these things, man. They have a thing that they tell you about in church called the pre-tribulation rapture and things like that, man. But hey, but you don't realize you right here in the belly of the beast right now, man. You living it out as it's playing out right here in front of you, man. All right, you not about to be so-called raptured about all these things, man. Hey, the elect is right here in the belly of the beast with you, rest of you heathens and shit like that as we going through all these things. But the difference is the Lord has got a hedge over top of his elect, preserving his elect to the end, man. All right, the rest of you people are just out here panicking and wearying, not knowing what the hell to do because why? You never had faith from the beginning. All right, so it says, verily I say unto you that this generation shall not pass till all these things be fulfilled. Heaven and earth shall pass away, but my word shall not pass away. But of the day and the hour knoweth no man, no, not the angels of heaven, but my Father only. But as the days of Noah were, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. All right, so hey, you know, and twofold in that, you know, because they say no man know the day or the hour. But look, he's asking or telling them about the sign. First of all, the question was asked, what is the sign of thy coming? And he gave you all these different signs. And so also in the time of Noah, we'll read a little bit about it, but also in the time of Noah, hey, he preached to them for 120 years. So he was giving them signs. Hey, look, nigga, look, if you really want a sign, measure the time diligently based off this goddamn boat. I'm telling you, put 2 and 2 together, man. Read between the lines. I'm telling you, the Lord about to make it rain. He gonna flood the earth, and he gonna preserve me and my family and whoever want to be righteous on this here boat. So you can measure the time that when rain gonna come in the boat. Like if he's laying his first beam, you know that the rain ain't coming right now, man. But when he got that last beam put up, got the doors put up and everything else like that, start drawing in all the animals, and the last animal coming in, you can measure the time. Oh yeah, I think the rain gonna come in this here year in this here time frame because he got the last of the animals. It was lined up, and it took him forever to get all the animals. Now, all the animals is lined up getting on the boat, man. I think the rain about to be coming anytime soon now, man. Just like how we can measure, we'll grab that soon about, you know, how when he's about to fill his belly, all right, Most High gonna rain upon him, man. We see him getting this here system all put together right about now, so we can measure the time diligently and know about these things coming to pass, man. All right. It says, but as the days of Noah were, so also shall the coming of the Son of Man be. For as in the days that were before the flood, they were eating and drinking, marrying and giving into marriage until the day that Noah entered into the ark. And that's what you have going on right about now, man. You know, these things were sent for scourges and amendments for the people to get right. But the people, they don't want to get right, man. They want to continue on with their wickedness, man. All the way up until when the missiles drop down, man. You got wars and rumors of wars, famines. You got the MOTB, all these different things that are speaking right here in front of your face. And guess what? You still got hoes out here twerking. Still got niggas out here scamming. You got people just out here being fucking heathens day in and day out. But guess what? They continuing on just like in the days of Noah, man. Eating and drinking and marrying and giving into marriage all the way until what, the day that the flood came, man. So it's not no big mystery to these people just because, you know, everybody ain't just sitting here with open eyes receiving the Lord as the Lord is coming back. You know, they just in oblivion. You know, people say, oh, the Lord was coming back, I would know about it. Well, obviously you blinded. The Lord, you know, don't have you privy to these things because you would see, you'd be able to measure the time diligently. You'd be able to see all these things that's coming to pass, man, but you don't. All right. It says, but as the days of Noah were, so also the Son of Man shall be. For as in the days of Noah, so as in the days were before the flood, they were eating and drinking and marrying and giving into marriage until the day that Noah entered into the ark, and knew not until the flood came and took them all away. So shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. There shall be 2 in the field, and one shall be taken and the other shall be left. All right, you know, the point I wanted to grab was, you know, about the days of Noah were, you know, they was eating and drinking and giving into marriage and living it up and everything else like that, man. You still got people going to the club, going partying and everything else like that, how they would say living their best life, all right, so-called chasing after the bag and everything else when they should be repenting, man. But guess what, man, just because they still out there living their life and everything else like that don't mean we shouldn't be repenting and seeking the Lord, man. All right, the scripture says, seek ye the Lord while he may be found before the dark days come upon the earth, man. All right, but yet and still, our people, and the major part about it is they ain't measuring the times. Let me grab this other precept real quick first before I grab that. And matter of fact, let me grab both of these precepts. This is this is Job chapter 5. Job chapter 5 and 12, it says he disappointed the devices of the crafty so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise. All right, and what is part of their enterprise that they're trying to perform, man? All right, setting up what? This New World Order, man. The MOTB, man. They're trying to get their New World Order up and off the ground and rolling, man. They're trying to get everybody like what's his name? Aaron Russo said about what Nick Rockefeller said, man. Hey, they trying to chip everybody, trying to get everybody chipped out here, man. All right, and as you can see, they coming out, you know, starting out there in Iran. All right, also in China with the what they call it, the social credit system. All right, the digital food vouchers. All right, your digital passports and all these different things. Turning out to be what? Turning up for the system of the MOTB, man, the mark of the beast, man, so that no man may be able to buy or sell save he that have the mark, man. This is what they all preparing for. These are the things that they're preparing for. So, again, if you got the eyes to see and the ears to hear, you should be able to look around the things and see the signs that the Lord was telling you about. It's all coming to pass right about now, man. You should be able to see, oh, shit, man, we definitely in those times, man. We definitely need to be repenting right about now, man. We definitely need to be getting our lives together, but getting still, you know, 2/3 of our people, they are going to keep ignoring these signs until what? Until the flood come and take them away. All right. Give me 1 second. They going to continue on in their wickedness until what? The flood take them away and everything else like that, man. And this time it's not going to be a flood of water. It's going to be a nuclear flood, man. You're going to be bathing in a nuclear bath in what they call the lake of fire here in Babylon the Great, man. You're going to still be out there twerking it up, partying it up, and everything else like that. And lo and behold, you know, you might get your door kicked in by the Gurkha troops, martial law troops. All right, you might just be out here living it up, buying and selling because you didn't got the chip. But then guess what? Your plague is going to be what? You're going to, you know, they say that there's, you know, this place is going to send up like the smoke unto heaven, roughly paraphrasing. They're going to be tormented in the presence of the Lamb and the holy angels. All right, they're going to be bathing in that lake of fire, which is Babylon the Great, man. This, right here in America when those nukes come down, man. Give me 1 second. So you're going to have people all the way up into the end, man, living it up, man. They're going to be out here just so-called thriving. And don't get caught off guard with them. Hey, man, shit, I'm still out here doing it. Y'all ain't, I don't know why y'all over here being depressed and living like this and living like, hey, I'm living my best life right now. I ain't going to have nobody tell me. I see people like this all the time, man, that with that cognitive dissonance. I don't know about y'all, but, you know, that's because you think like that and so on and so forth. I'm out here living my best life right now. I'm not going to let nobody deprive me of this and deprive me of that. I'm just doing this and that. They're going to be having that same-ass attitude, that same-ass spirit all the way up until those goddamn missiles come in and take their ass up, man. Then they're going to be repenting, trying to repent. Oh, Lord, save me. This, nah, man, the Lord, like, you ignore me, so I'm about to ignore your ass, man. What the hell? Fuck wrong with y'all out here, man? You got life twisted, but yet and still, this is how do I say, this is the state of our people, man. Our people are stiff-necked people, hard-headed people. They don't want to listen, man. All right? The Lord is giving you ample time to repent, showing you mercy and mercy and mercy, man. But yet and still, they don't want to hearken into these things, man. They don't want to give heed. They don't want to give heed into the Lord, man. So the Lord said, hey, man, I'm going to laugh and mock when your calamities come. Because, look, when I called your ass, you didn't want to come, man. But now, all of a sudden, you want to be on this, man, hey, our people out here is gone, man. All right? They're so far, the pride has fermented in their mind. You know how they say a little leaven leavens the whole lump? A little pride really will fuck you up out here, man. Like the scriptures say, because, you know, because how does it go? Let me grab it real quick. I'm not trying to go too far off topic. I was hoping I could just quote it, but I thought it was right here in Sirach 10. Give me 1 second. I probably had to look it up, but nevertheless, roughly paraphrasing, it was going into because judgment wasn't executed expediently. All right, all this here wickedness keep continuing on. All right, but hey, these people gonna have to learn, the hard way, man. All right, but let's just get back to this and we'll finish it off. Got a couple more pieces. We'll close out here. Job chapter 5, verse 9, or Job 5 and 12 says, he disappointed the device of the crafty so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise. He taketh the wise in their own craftiness, and the counsel of the forward is carried headlong. So what is their enterprise they're trying to implement, man? Again, it's this new world order, man. They're trying to get everybody chipped up out here, man. They're trying to get everybody under their guise so that they can rule over all these people. But guess what? The Lord, well, we'll grab it right now, as a matter of fact. The Lord has got a plan for them, man. This is Job chapter 20 and verse 22. It says, in the fullness of his sufficiency he shall be in straits, and every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. When he is about to fill his belly, the Most High shall cast the fear of his wrath upon him, and he shall rain it upon him while he is eating. So, hey, going into this, he's trying to fulfill his belly, man. Going into what? Fulfilling his new world order system, man. Giving everybody the mark of the beast, man. The microchip, man. When he's about to fulfill his belly and about to get all these things done, this is when, we're going to get into it. Let's go ahead and read about that a little bit. It says, when he's about to fill his belly, the Most High shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him, and shall rain it upon him while he is eating. It says, he shall flee from the iron weapon, and the bow of steel shall strike him through. All right, now let's go into this iron weapon. All right, it says, he shall flee from the iron weapon, and the bow of steel shall strike him through. It is drawn, and cometh out of his body. Yea, the glittering sword cometh out of his gall. Terrors are upon him. All darkness shall be hid in his secret places. A fire not blown shall consume him. It shall go ill with him that is left in his tabernacle. All right, so hey, let me just finish this chapter off. The heaven shall reveal his iniquity, and the earth shall rise up against him. It says, the increase of his house shall depart, and his goods shall flow away in the day of his wrath. This is the portion of the wicked man from the Most High, and the heritage appointed unto him by the Most High. So going into this is the judgment of the wicked man, of the evil man. All right, so hey, it says he shall flee from the iron weapon, and the bow of steel shall strike him through. All right, it's going to come out of his gall. What is that talking about? That's talking about those missiles coming out of these silos in their respective places, whether it be on submarines, whether it's out of these, what they call nuclear bomber planes. All right, or they coming out of the nuclear silos, man. All right, that's the glittering sword, man, the iron weapon, man. All right, the bow of steel that's going to strike him through, man. All right, this is that weapon it's talking about, but as scripture say, let's read it again. Job chapter 20 and 22. In the fullness of his sufficiency. Matter of fact, let me see if I can get something on this. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna try to pull this up, see what it says. All right. I mean, it's pretty decent what they say into that, but I thought I was going to say something a little different. But we can read it anyway in the NLT. It says, let's go back up. Job, we'll start at verse 20. It says, Job 20 and 20, and this is in the NLT. It says, they were always greedy and never satisfied. Nothing remains in all the things they dreamed about. Nothing is left after they finish gorging themselves. Therefore, their prosperity will not endure. All right, so that's going to be the end of them, right? No more their posterity. It says, in the midst of plenty, they will run into trouble and be overcome by misery. So when they about to fill their belly, man, when they have it all, when they have everybody damn near chipped, man, when they about to get their new world order, hey, we just read about how the Lord was going to disappoint the device of the crafty. All right, so their hands cannot perform their enterprise. When they're about to perform that, when they're about to get these things through and through, this is when the Lord's going to rain it down upon them, right? It says, may God give them a belly of trouble. May God rain down his anger upon them. All right? When they try to escape an iron weapon, a bronze-tipped arrow will pierce them. So, hey, going into those nukes, man. Since the arrow is pulled from their back and the arrowhead glistened with blood, terrors of death are upon them. Their treasure will be thrown into the deepest darkness. A wildfire will devour their goods, consuming all that they have left. And that's what's going to be made into this here place, you know, as you call Babylon. It's going to be turned into the lake of fire. I just want to see something real quick. Let me go back and read this in Job chapter 5, verse 12, you know, in the NLT. I'm going to read it first in King James, but then we'll read in the NLT. It says, He disappointed the device of the crafty, so their hands cannot perform their enterprise. He taketh the wise in their own craftiness, and the counsel of the forward is carried headlong. So here it is in NLT. It says, He frustrates the plans of the schemers. What's the plan of the schemers, man? To chip everybody. We read the article about how, hey, man, they might be talking about just this in Iran, but this is a global plan. What they had at the World Economic Forum. This is what they plan on doing to everybody, man. This is not just a plan for Iran. This is not a temporary fix. This is what the end-all, be-all, end-game goal is going to be, all right? It says, He frustrates the plans of the schemers so that the work of their hands will not succeed. All right, so, hey, he's going to cause all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive this here mark in their right hand or on their foreheads. But guess what? For the elect's sake, matter of fact, let me just go ahead and, this is in the same chapter. Just read it here on the phone. But for the elect's sake, you know, the day is going to be shortened, man. The Lord's going to come in and save and deliver his elect, man. All right? It says he frustrates the plan of the schemers so that the work of their hands will not succeed. All right? It says he traps the wise in their own cleverness so that their cunning schemes are thwarted. All right? So, hey, that's the trick bag that they're going to be put in because of the fact of, in the sense of, damn it, man. In the sense of when they're going to try to, chip up the elect, when they're going to try to come after the elect, like the scriptures say, you know, when they come in like a flood, the Lord's going to raise up a standard against them, man. All right, so when Esau comes in like this with that great wrath, trying to finish and fill his belly and implement his new world order system, this is when the Lord is going to wind up causing it all to come down upon him, man. This is when the Lord is going to cause him to flee from the iron weapon. This is when that World War III is going to come to that climax, man. All right, this is when he's going to flee from the iron weapon and wind up getting, you know, turning America into that nuclear pile of ash, man. All right. Let me jump down. Let me read this. Matter of fact, let me read this first, and then I'll read it again in the NLT. All right, because you know, talking into these things, people will ask, well, how are we going to be delivered? How are we going to be saved in these times, man? All right, Job chapter 5 and verse 9. Salakia. Job chapter 5 and verse 19. All right, I had it backwards. Job 5 and 19, it says, He shall deliver thee in 6 troubles, yea, in 7 there shall no evil touch thee. All right, so, you know, going back to that pre-rapture tribulation situation, hey, man, we right here in the belly of the beast right now, man. We going through it all, but guess what? The Lord said, it says he shall deliver thee in 6 troubles, so we're going to go through all 6 of these things, you know, which is like a parable of all these different scenarios. We're going to be going through them all, man. The elect's going to be right here in the belly of the beast, but it says, yea, in the 7th there shall no evil touch thee. That's indicative into when the nukes come down, man. All right? And famine, he shall redeem thee from death, and in war from the power of the sword. Thou shalt be hid from the scourge of the tongue, neither shalt thou be afraid of destruction when it cometh. All right, so, hey, we're not going to be afraid when these destructions is coming down upon the earth, man. We're rejoicing because we know that what our salvation is near. This is what the Lord is coming to save us from these destructions, all right? It says, thou shalt be hid from the scourge of the tongue, neither shalt thou be afraid of destruction when it cometh. At destruction and famine thou shalt laugh, neither shalt thou be afraid of the beasts of the earth. All right. So hey, at the famine we're gonna be laughing at these points in times. You know, hey, it's kind of funny when you start thinking about a lot of these things. Like, you know, the scripture also say, let me grab that real quick. We'll come back to this and read it in LT. Isaiah 65 and verse 13. It says, therefore thus saith Yahweh, behold, my servant shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. Behold, my servant shall drink, but you shall be thirsty. All right, so hey, the Lord said his servants are going to eat. All right, but the rest of these people are going to be hungry, man. So hey, in these times, man, people are going to be scarce and looking for food and everything else like that. But look, the Lord said his servants are going to wind up eating and everything else like that, man. All right, the Lord's going to make way for his people to wind up thriving and surviving in these times, man. They're not going to be hurt by these things, man. Yeah, you may be, you know, the same, you know, you might be in the same scenario where the food price is going up and here and there. But look, man, somebody may come around and wind up paying for your groceries. Somebody may come around and help you with half of your bills. Somebody may come around and help you with a lot of these different things, man. And we've seen these things come to pass in a lot of different scenarios, man. Where, you know, and I always speak on this as a testimony, you know, when the pandemic first started, you know, and the toilet paper shortage was going on, man. And I work for all Edomites, basically, man. And you only got a couple of Jakes that I work for. But, you know, with all these Edomites that I work for, you know, and I couldn't make it out to the grocery store to go buy toilet paper and things like that when there was a scarcity of these things. Guess what happened, man? So I was going to work. I had all these Edomites lining me up with food, toilet paper, meat, and everything. I had so much goddamn food and toilet paper, I didn't have to go to the grocery store for nothing for a while, man. All right, so hey, same thing in these times where the Lord can sit here and provide for you, man. All right. It says, going back, Isaiah 65 and 13. It says, therefore, thus saith Yahweh, behold, my servant shall eat, but you shall be hungry. Behold, my servant shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty. Behold, my servant shall rejoice, but you shall be ashamed. All right, behold, my servant shall sing for joy of heart, but you shall cry for sorrow of heart and shall howl for vexation of spirit. Because a lot of these people are going to be having in their mind, oh, I got my money, I got my my garden, I got this and I got that, I'm straight. Y'all people out there just bugged out, y'all losing, I'm, you know, talking about us. We out here bugged out, losing our minds and all these different things. But hey, when these things come to pass and they starting to realize, hey, man, you know, and again, we've seen these things happen as well too, man. When these pandemic was going on and you see these people going in the grocery store, they all got these sad looks on their face and everything else like that. But we in the grocery store smiling and happy. And everybody like, what y'all so happy about? What y'all smiling about? Everything else like that. And we over here not buying necessities, but buying so-called luxuries inside the store, man. People were trying to figure out what's going on with us. Hey, man, the Lord is providing for us, man. You know what I'm saying? Hey, but for the rest of you people, you out here making hardcore decisions right now on what you gonna buy, man. All right, but hey, but the elect is gonna be taken care of in this here time, man. All right, the Lord's gonna deliver us at all these things. The Lord's gonna deliver us in these times, and in famine we're gonna be laughing because look, man, hey, call halal how about Shemi Awashai. He said he was gonna do it, and guess what? He did it for us, man. You know, hey, like I was bringing up the scenario of the toilet paper and the food scenario like that. I was like, you know, thinking on one side of my mind, I'm like, man, I should go try to like finesse my boss and them and everything else like that. Like, hey, man, I need some time off paid because you know, I'm stressing over the pandemic type scenario. I need to be at home, my family and everything else like that, just to get some free fucking time off. But lo and behold, look, I ain't miss a paycheck. I was able to work the whole time, and I ain't had to go to the grocery store and fight over the lines. I had people taking care of all this here stuff, and he's sitting back laughing like, damn, I'm over here trying to take advantage of the system. All right, planning, plotting, and strategizing how I can, you know, finesse the system and take advantage of it. The Most High done already took advantage of the system for me, man. I kept getting paid, got my paycheck, was getting paid extra, getting paid tips and things like that, getting paid what they call, not hazardous pay, but getting paid a little bit of extra for going to work throughout those times, though. Something like a hazardous pay. And getting free groceries and free necessities that I needed, man. So, hey, man, I didn't have to finesse the system. When I was over here planning, plotting, and strategizing how I was going to make it, the Lord had already had a way planned for me, man. I got up that morning going to work, man. Should I call out for work or should I try to make it to the grocery store? Should I call in late, go to the grocery store before they even open up and get this stuff? Fuck that, I'm going to just have faith and go to the grocery store. If I can make it after work and I'll get whatever I can get, the Lord will provide that way for me. And guess what? Before I even got off of work to go to the grocery store, the Lord had already made a way and provided for me while I was at work getting paid that, hey, people was already providing for me, man. All right? Let's go back to this Job. Matter of fact, I wanted to read this in So this is the NLT, Job 5:19. It says, from 6 disasters he will rescue you. Even in the 7th, he will keep you from evil. So again, we're going to be right here in the belly of the beast throughout all these things for all of these things except for what? The nukes, man. And the nukes, that's when we're going to be saved and delivered up. All right. It says, he will save you from death in the time of famine, from the power of the sword and in the time of war. You will be safe from slander and have no fear when destruction come. You will laugh at destruction and famine. Wild animals will not terrify you, man. So this is the point in the time that we're coming into right now, where the elect is gonna be made known who's the Lord's elect, man. All right, he's gonna show forth who he's dealing with, who he's not dealing with, based off of what, who he delivers, man. All right, because you're gonna have some of these people, like people look at, you know, I mentioned a little earlier about these high value men. You see some of these men, they be like, man, they must be doing something right. The Lord is dealing with them because they've got all this here money, they got all the clothes, the women, the cars and everything else like that. Hey, none of that really matters, man. That's not a high value man. A high value man is gonna be what? He's gonna be a covert or a hiding place from the storm, man. A high value man is gonna be more finer than a golden wedge of Ophir, man. A high value man is gonna have that mark of exemption in his forehead, man. A high value man is gonna have the wisdom and knowledge to be the stability of his times, and with the wisdom and knowledge of what? This here truth, man. That's gonna be the real high value man. It's gonna show forth at that time of who the Lord is taking care of at that point in time, man. That's gonna be the end all be all of who your high value men is. You're gonna be able to see them because why? The Lord is gonna be taking care of them, man. All right. So we'll read this and we'll pretty much close out after this. All right. But I wanted to read this as far as you know, to bring this all back home as far as measuring the time diligently. 2 Esdras 9:1, it says, he answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs past, which I told thee before, which we've been going through all these different signs and seeing all these things and how they all coming to pass right now in this time, man. All right, from the MOTB, how they're implementing these things, the economic collapses, all right, people all on edge, the love of many waxing cold, all these different things are coming to pass right about now that we could read about in the scriptures, and lo and behold, you know, people are still out here living it up, man. All right, but yet and still, hey, you should be taking heed to these things. It says, he answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs past, which I told thee before, then thou shalt understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. So we know now this is the Lord bringing these judgments upon the earth, because why? He told us about these things, told us about these signs. We see the judgment going forth. These things were sent for scourges and for amendments to turn away from our wicked ways. But what? The people aren't turning from these things, man. They're doubling down. So what? The Lord has to double down on his side, man. It says, then thou shalt well understand. Oh, wait, Salak, I skipped verse 3. Let's go back up. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs past, which I told thee before, then thou shalt understand it's the very same time when the highest will begin to visit the world. Then thou shalt understand it's the very same time when the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, all right, we see that uproars of the people in the world from multiple different things. You see people up there protesting, rioting, overthrowing their governments for things that, like I said, hey, we was reading about the Iran scenario, right? They over there trying to overthrow their government right about now because of why? Economic collapses. And what does the government have to do to try to stop these uproars of the people? Bring in that so-called digital voucher, man. All right, we see where these things are all going because why? We have the eyesight, man. The Lord told us these things before they came to pass, man. Then thou shalt well understand. Let's read it. Verse 4. Then thou shalt well understand that the Most High spake of these things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. So now we should know, you know, if you know, blessed your eyes to see the things that you see. Now you're supposed to know that, hey, man, the Most High told us about these things, man. It says, then thou shalt well understand that the Most High spake of those things that was from before thee, even from the beginning. For like all that is made in the world hath their beginning and end, and is manifest. Even so, the times of the highest have plain beginnings and wonders and powerful works and endings and signs. All right. But I'm going to go ahead and close out with that. Lord willing, the elect was edified with this here lesson. Until next time, I say, call halal, Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakak Kodash. Double honor to the apostles and elders, a great millstone that taught us this truth and that rule well. Citation, much love for you. I can push this truth and sincerity over the four corners of the earth, enduring affliction, defeating, edify the elect. Stay strong, shalom.